How's everybody doing? Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing, man? I am I am psyched to be here on a Thursday. Today is our daily Coffee Talk and Tech Thursday stream. My name is John Ryan. If you've never been to this stream, this is a stream that I do on Thursdays at 9 p.m. And then on Tuesdays, my co-host streams at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Jeffrey Smith. And tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about a couple things. We're going to talk about how to stream, different levels of streaming and what it can do for your business, and what you can use it for, and why would you want to stream too. But also, we're just going to go into the different levels mostly too. So let's go check out who's here and say hello. We got Raj CJ. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you stopping in. We got my wife is watching. Well, that's good to know. Thank God. And we got the final countdown. Circle Hook Productions clip. How we doing? Just Jason. Welcome into the house. I hope you're doing good. Everybody else, we got Derp coming in. We got Robert and we have Roy. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for stopping in. Let's go bring in Jeffrey and see how he's doing and say hello. Hopefully we don't surprise him. Let's see how he's doing.
Oh,
Jeffrey!
I'm so surprised.
Wow, 9 o'clock came fast for me today.
I wanted like about 10 more hours of nap. We may have extended ourselves last night a bit, and
Yeah,
I'm surprised my mic's working after all that. We had a little bit of a thing, but it's working, right? We're good.
Yeah, yep. Your mic is up and it's going. Jeffrey and I, we got a little bit crazy yesterday, and we started ourselves on a group stream that lasted 3 hours. And so I stayed up pretty late last night going through that, and I paid the price. How about you?
Oh, dearly, but I think you have to get up early, much earlier than I do. I mean, I think once you get past 2 hours, I think it becomes a stream marathon, right? I think it officially becomes somewhat of a marathon, and we're starting to raise money, but we made nothing.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I felt like I could go on a mission of raising money for a cause, and the cause was for me to stay home and get more sleep. So I don't know.
So basically, you needed a paycheck today, right?
Well, yeah, it was a little tough. Look who's saying hi tonight. Stopping in. Appreciate it.
Hey, Derp, are you officially off for the summer? I know he was close.
Yeah, I think it's got to be close. A lot of people are finishing up college. A lot of my friends' children are graduating. Congratulations to a lot of them. I see them on Facebook, and it's a really cool time. We got a lot of people transitioning to different grade levels, middle school, etc. And it's great to see everything going on. So, and he's dropping a note saying 3 more days.
3 more, man. He's heading out, and I see Spoke Audio. Robert is sending me a hey. I had a little. Should I tell you? I jumped into his channel today a little bit, and
oh yeah, I checked it out too.
And looking great. I mean, beyond just the name change, which I love. I mean, his channel's looking great. I had to be careful though. I started dipping into his videos, and I wanted to go through them, and then I realized on my video editing board coming up, there's a lot of videos that are similar in vein to what he's doing, and I didn't want to be influenced. So I'll check them out when I'm done doing my videos, and then we'll kind of do a compare and contrast. But yeah, I'm really digging his channel and his vibe. I think it's great.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
I get what you're saying. Like when some people are on the same common grounds with some stuff, you might be doing some similar reviews on stuff and etc.
Yeah, and it's not a problem. It's just I want to make sure so close that I don't get influenced by that so much. But what's really odd, I mean, because no one's in competition and we're in a small circle, it's going to happen. I just had to laugh. I'm like, oh man, this guy, he's just killing it. I already, and I wanted to be in some of those videos, but I'll do mine, and then we'll have a little powwow, and it'll be fun to talk. I have a feeling we came to the same conclusions, but you never know.
Yeah. Yep. So I had a good week though so far.
Good.
I think I sent a little couple pictures to you the other day. I made a little special trip to B&H Photo in New York City.
Yeah,
Um,
you rubbed that one in on me. I was
yeah,
working, and all of a sudden I get, oh, look where I'm at. And I'm looking, and it's like B&H in New York, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that to me?
it was funny because I sent it to Sammy. I sent it to a couple other people that I know. Oh, I'm here at B&H Photo. What's more fun than this? So I did some strolling around in there. I love going there because it's just like they have everything. So I really enjoy stepping in there and just like dreaming of the extra stuff. I feel like walking in there and go, can't you guys just please put me on the list where I could just borrow some of this stuff, review it, and bring it back? Like, how do I get there? Can I give you my credit card? And if I don't bring it back, I could pay for it or something. So I feel like
I don't know that you have a face they could trust. That's the problem. So I think that
oh no.
no, I don't think that. Well, I don't think so. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're a perfect guy for like someone like B&H or a product to send to review because you're so energetic about it, and you have such passion and joy about learning about it. You'd be a perfect guy for that.
I was like this close to trying to see like where can I find somebody where I can get this in? Because listen, here's the thing, right? 1 block away, I'm working. I could literally go over there, drop off something and pick it up, and they can always put a retainer on my credit card. So I'm gonna like when I get there, I'm gonna go and talk to somebody and I'm gonna see what I could do. So we'll see.
If when all else fails, do a little pleading. But you do have a perfect setup being that close.
Yes.
You really do. I mean, that's amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard. And especially because I imagine, for someone like Robert, I really think I'm going to dig his stuff. I did. I dipped into some other videos. I'm like, oh man, I think we're going to agree on a lot of things. So then I'm like, I better not really dip into these. So, this is the fun part of it though, is kind of doing these getting into like-minded individuals in the same spot and then kind of doing their own thing and with their own flavor.
Yeah. So this is my buddy Chris. Thanks for stopping in and letting us know. He's working on some things for me to make my like logo and look good. And he sent me some stuff, and I was like really psyched. And I showed you last night a couple of things. I really was.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, if you're still on here yet, good work, man. I mean, great work. I was really impressed. I like some of the mock there.
Well, this is what he does. And so sometimes he yells at me and I don't like it because, he's like, you can make this look better. And he's probably right. But sometimes I gotta go with what I feel for a while. And then I just like soak things in. That's the way you got to do things sometimes. But, and Samantha stopping in to say hi. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, Samantha. How you doing? Well, hopefully you'll absorb the Notion educational program as much as you do the logo educational program. So
yeah, I mean, it's all work in progress when we start out, and you got to put yourself in place to get things in order. And right now I'm kind of like putting things, even though it's 10 months in with a YouTube channel and a few months streaming, it's also letting myself feel good about my choices and am I making progress? And so tonight we're going to talk about the progress that we can make in streaming and perhaps like using these different softwares and applications for streaming and why, and what are the benefits in some aspects and what are some cons in some ways. And right now we're using StreamYard.
Correct. Tonight we're on StreamYard tonight.
Yeah. And which we're fond of. I mean, it's a great platform.
Oh, I mean, just because you might pick at something, that doesn't mean you don't like it. I think there's sometimes there's this kind of, oh, well, if you don't like their echo cancellation feature. I'm like, well, maybe something about it annoys us, but that doesn't mean we don't love the product. And maybe too, sometimes it's a way of saying we love the product and there's some ways you can be better, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. And listen, 2 years ago, there weren't really anybody using things like this. Even I think 2 years ago they were around. I think in 2017 they might have started with this, but not a lot of people were using it. And now you have like Restream, and there's another thing called Lightstream, and there's several of these web-based, cloud-based streaming platforms that let you stream out to multiple platforms like Facebook
Yep.
and YouTube at the same time. And that's one of the great benefits. Like Restream, you can go out to like 10 different or platforms or more.
Yeah, I mean, we love OBS, and it would be okay. We've had this discussion about whether OBS can multi-stream out. I don't know. But the truth of it is, in this format with 2 people or more, we start to get into different logistics. So this is just a great meetup platform for this. And there's just, we talked about it last night. We'll talk about it tonight. Different platforms for different reasons, for different
Right.
variables. There is no perfect platform that we know of.
Right.
We'll get into that. I don't want to like step through that right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna rush into a lot of things because I want to start with really, I think, which would be the easiest. And honestly, I think StreamYard is. So when you're starting to want to stream, you're getting something where for free they're going to give you 20 hours a month. And yes, if in case you didn't hear that, I said free. So you're getting a free platform to come to and stream on and get to be able to pull up the chat. You get to talk with multiple people on here for free. So it's up to 6 with the free program. And then you can step up in levels. Okay. So those are things that really are unmatched from anybody else.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, good luck finding that. I mean,
right. And the great thing is Restream is their, major competition.
Yep.
And they're both fighting each other on claiming ground at this point. And they're both giving all of us a battle, which is they're trying to improve their platforms, and we're gaining by using everything.
Yeah, everything's getting better and everything's getting cheaper.
Yes.
So that's kind of the way this lovely process works. But in the meantime, there's always a little fumbling going on as they're trying to develop. And I mean, OBS really we've talked about it. OBS has really straightened itself out over the last year with some of their updates, right? They've really become solid.
Yeah.
And that's just sheer trying to meet the demand, and they finally caught up to it all. So what a great product. It's free.
Right. And Clint here is saying StreamYard definitely is the easiest. And for mobile, out and about streaming. So it's like, he's right about that. And he's definitely out and about. So, when he's doing his productions, and he could live stream for anywhere as long as you got a cell signal. So that's pretty incredible. And so I think that knowing that this is free, you have to ask yourself, if you want to stream, what is stopping you? Because here is the big thing. A lot of times hardware and being able to run encoders and having a powerful CPU or a GPU does not matter if you're cloud-based and web-based. This is taking the load off of your PC right now. So you can have a 7-year-old laptop and basically be running and streaming right now. So then you got to ask yourself at this point, what's your next excuse to stop yourself from streaming? So what do you think about that?
So is that where you're going with it tonight? There's no.
Well, no, but I like to throw that in because honestly, right? Because we worry there's a lot to think about. Jeff, when we're talking about our setups and where we want to go, there's a lot entailed, right, in this tech chain that has to work correct for you to be able to use the things we're using.
Yeah. And then we can't sidestep. There's a tech chain, and then there's the inner chain, the emotional chain, the chains of our brains that tend to get in the way. And somewhere between the two, I think is where you're getting at, and what's holding you up. It isn't probably money, because you can get this stuff for free. It isn't probably the tools, because the trade-off here of 720 going through a web server is great when it's, again,
tell the people that don't know what you just meant by that.
What do you mean?
Even the resolutions. So someone's news watching, they don't know what you mean by coming in at 720.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we can put out 1080 if we wanted to, right? We could do that. We have the cameras, we can go through OBS at 1080, but StreamYard, Ecamm, all those web-based servers, unless you're paying for the professional level, which gets to be very pricey. But on a free version of those platforms, they're going to throttle you down to 720 resolution. Right. But I mean, if you look right now, that is not going to stop you from having a fun night.
Right.
As somebody, people are saying in chat, it's this StreamYard's a beautiful product as far as simplicity. It does seem to just work. I mean, we've had some audio issues, but who doesn't?
Yeah.
And that's going to happen, and you just deal with it. But I mean, with the chat, with the ability to multi-stream, it's free at 720, which is a pretty good quality. I don't know. There really isn't. There
Right.
really isn't an excuse. So then it becomes something else. But that is a trade-off when you're talking about cost and overhead of tech, where most people would take the loss of 1080 to 720 to have a free platform and one they can use out of the box and not get stuck in, like crazy.
Right. And so, like you just said, I think the most important thing is, right, say you're not very versed at the tech, or you don't have the money to start putting together or buying a computer that can really stream you on a higher level, straight out from OBS or vMix for that matter. But you can use this, and it's going to be so easy and intuitive to be able to go through the things that we're going through as far as showing everything up here and et cetera. What are you going to say?
Well, can we just do a quick poll getting back to that 720? Because
Go ahead.
There's something in my mind, and someone dropped something about, 720, I've kind of gotten used to it. I guess my thought it would be, hi, how you doing, Marlene? What I guess my thought would be, just drop in the chat, what are you watching tonight's stream on? Are you watching it on a laptop? Or are you watching it on your phone?
Right.
Or even a tablet? Because my point getting that so many people are watching this on their phones. By the time you break this size down, 720 is pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah. And then we say this over and over again, right? So when we're like this in this form factor, 720 looks good because look how small the screen is. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it looks decent. But when you're in closer, right, you notice that right away that resolution changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not still bad, but I'm just saying you do notice the difference to an extent.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. And again, it's all about expectations. You know what, John? This is free. It's easy. It's not bad.
Right.
Now, if I'm paying $20-$30 a month and I'm pixelating a little bit, I'm like, it's not bad, but it could be better. So again, it's that whole money versus expectations versus money, what you're paying out. But for free, no.
Yeah. And plus, like, if you're going to stream a talking head product conversation, like a lot of times we do, it's really just important to be able to talk about and get your point across to the people. And this is enough to get that done.
Right.
Now, we're techie, and we like always to improve our tech and get better. So we're of a little bit of a different mold with that. And so we're not gonna get to our topic yet. We're gonna hold off a little bit and discuss why we wanted to step up into different levels and why we're always challenging ourselves. But I want to just keep on talking a little bit about the StreamYard. And listen, and here's the thing: you can pay for the 1080p. So
it's a little pricey for that value. I don't think it's really. I mean, if you really are grabbing that much business from it, and it's at that point, I think it's fine.
Right.
But I'm seeing people iPad Pro, phone, this and that, and I think Ash put up here somebody else too about audio being kind of king in the chain as far as importance, and probably have to agree with that. There's some slight nonsense that, of course, StreamYard never going to do to our audio, but in general, audio is not as much influenced, I don't think. What do you think? Do you think it's really that influenced by StreamYard as opposed to peer-to-peer or something like that?
Well, I think
there's something going. There's some colorization. There's obviously some.
Yeah. I think our audio, when you're going through Go XLRs and Roadcasters, there's things that we're not overly thrilled with being able to control our audio, but that's because we want everything. So I don't think it's a bad situation to want everything, but don't expect everything. And especially, it's just, I feel like we're spoiled because this kind of technology has driven fast forward so much that I don't think people realize like how blessed we are to be able to even have these kinds of platforms.
We are lucky. I mean, even a year ago, you weren't seeing a lot of these tools, and if they were out, they weren't really that good.
Right.
I mean, things are catching up, and we see, you know, companies like Sony on the camera end trying to scramble to catch up to the massive streaming demand of cameras. And now you're seeing software companies try to catch up. So, I mean, what's going to be happening in the next 6 months to a year on software, it's going to be night and day. Like a year from now, when we're talking about this, we're going to be in a whole different world. Like,
Right.
but to your point, we are tech questers. And
Right.
so that's, we're always going to be that. You can't expect nor want other people that want to create content to really want to do that. But you know, if people are interested in it, or they have an idea, that's helpful.
So then the other thing is too that I want to point out when I talk about streaming, because I went into some local Facebook groups. I dropped some information before I went on this stream, and maybe some people are lurking and they might jump on here and try to get a gist of what we're saying. So now you're popping in or you're watching this stream, and we're talking about the StreamYard factor, and we're talking about how you can use it for your business in any method you want. Like if I was a real estate company, perhaps I would be saying to them a weekly update of the market in your area. Or if I was a restaurant, maybe I'm going through what I'm having as specials each day of the week. And so you go in these live streams, and then they pop up into these Facebook groups, and then you have multiple people in that area looking at them. So you're driving people to your business. And also, if you are live and they catch you and you can interact with them, then you're making connections right off the bat.
Yeah. And I think it's important to let people know too, that you don't have to have a studio and be this fixated on all the stuff like you're seeing in this case. If you're a restaurant or a real estate agent or anything, you can quickly pick up and go and create a mobile entity that looks amazing in your restaurant or a real estate agency or anywhere on the go or on the spot, and do a quick live. And you're like, hey, there's some music coming on in 2 hours in our restaurant bar, and you can see the scene and the energy. You could just do a minute live. You don't even have to make it like a 4-hour marathon.
Right. And that's my point. You don't have to make it long or talk about a topic. It's just making connections, refreshing your face, and getting the name of the company out there in the area where you are. And those kinds of things, when you do it repetitious in a weekly, orderly manner, you're going to make connections with the people that you're touching. And so you're doing this for free. So you have your Wi-Fi, you're at your job, you go on, you can literally set your frame your studio out with your business in the background at your desk with the picture behind, whatever you choose to do. That's your decision.
With one single ring light, you know, to make it look, you could do so much now in a mobile sense,
Right.
the stuff. So it's not like you have to have some setup that's permanent and this and that. And that's the whole thing. It can be anything you want it to be. So yeah, I mean, the phone, and how does it look on the phone? I mean, I'm just curious. I don't have it on, and I guess
I think it looks amazing.
I am monitoring a little bit on a 32-inch screen, which is always dangerous because it's blowing up. And you know what? It looks good.
Right.
I mean,
When I'm watching StreamYard, it looks great to me. When I'm watching other people, you know, when I'm subscribed to StreamYard, so when people come on, it looks good to me. I don't have a problem with it at all.
I mean, we may be the problem, and you know, the content, but you know, the visual, you could watch this with the sound off. You'd be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So these are all the factors of using StreamYard, which makes it great.
Derp's heading out. Night. Get some sleep.
Night.
Thanks for stepping in, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So these are the reasons why it's so great that StreamYard is so flexible for people to make an impact with their streaming. And I think for all those reasons, it's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
But
here it comes.
But we're streamers. We're techie. We are able to learn the tech, and we like OBS. OBS is something that a lot of people use to stream, and a lot of people use it to record their videos when they're YouTubers. So all these things that we've been using OBS for. Now, for about 6 months, I've been using OBS straight into my hard drive. So I'll record a video and take that straight into a hard drive, done using SD cards, done transferring things over. And I pull that into I pull that in and I edit right out of my PC right then and there.
To knock out a quick video, it just with great audio and visual with OBS, in that setup with oh my god, it's a huge time saver.
Right.
Right. It's massive. It's not necessarily the most flexible if you're going to take things on the road and do vlogging, obviously, but for a lot of people who don't, it's just a great way to knock some things out. So yeah, OBS is a wonderful product. Yeah.
And Chris says that he's using it on his phone and looking at us, and I'm sure it looks absolutely fine. And other people, right? Circle Hook said he's looking on his phone. A lot of us. So I think that as far as the quality, we do it pretty well. But in OBS now, if we go to stream,
yeah,
we're getting 1080p right off the bat. Okay. You can choose if you're going to Facebook to stream at 720, which is the highest quality there anyways. But you have an option to do that, but you have also an option to bring in whatever overlays you have, whatever animated things that you put together to advertise. You can bring in applications and go through a presentation, okay, which you can do the same things on here because you can, on StreamYard, you can share your screen and you can have an application open and you can do a presentation. So you can do both of these. It just may not be exactly the same, where sometimes you can kind of like make things a little bit the way you like it in OBS, right? You figure that?
It's an easy thing to tailor and create your brand and to create a story with scripting up like movie scenes or a television. I mean, it has scenes in it literally, right? So you can absolutely create this cool visual story of your stream or of your video or however what you're doing. And it's easy.
Right.
So that's another reason why, using OBS is such a amazing tool for people. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty intuitive, but the thing is, it's open to Mac, it's open to Linux, it's open to PC, and this is a software that's always being worked on to improve. It's an open source, which means that there are multiple people working to improve this product with a forum to back up things. And, a lot of times people, when they're using a product that's open source, they're always like, well, it's not, it's not as what, right? It's not as reliable or this or that. And that was true maybe 2 years ago with OBS, but I'll tell you now, man, for the last year, it's been really rock solid.
Yeah, and I suppose Linux is garbage too. A lot of the best software in the world always has started and sustained itself as free as open source, and it's only improved now. But look, I've been a Windows user my whole life, and let me tell you, there are many times I was spending money on their licenses where it was complete garbage. So Windows 10 is a great product, but let's not get past Windows Me. And Windows 2000 and Windows 8.
Right.
We paid for those.
Oh my God. You're not even kidding. XP was like was a good one. And then we went to a couple of things that were like garbage, and 7 was like finally, and 10's been pretty good.
7 was pretty good. 8 had possibility, but so many weird user interface issues. Whoever created that UX.
You remember Windows Millennium? How horrible.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. Didn't they throw it away in like 8 months? They were like, "Oh my God, what did we do?"
I think they apologized. But
yeah, they apologized.
Like, oh, we're so sorry.
Oh, look at there's another one, right? Vista. Gross. Yes, I forgot about that, Clint. You're right.
I forgot about Vista.
I forgot too.
Maybe that was like repressed mental.
Yeah, because it was horrendous. And so, but yeah, so we got like Millennium or something, and Vista. I think they were probably the Vista that was the most horrible.
Pretty horrible. I want to just step on that though, as far as OBS and your point.
Yeah.
Because, Patrick made a point that he's doing this pretty much.
Yeah, let's bring that back up.
Yeah, he's pretty much doing the same thing through the Ecamm. Now, Ecamm, as I understand it, is not a local based app, right? Or is it? Or is he going on like in a StreamYard and he's got to play with the banners and the overlays? It's because I don't have a Mac, but I'm assuming it's very similar to the StreamYard platform, right? You got to log in, web-based. You got to create your stuff there. It's
and let's we're not there yet to Ecamm yet, and we're not yet to vMix, but we're going to talk about those differences a little bit, and maybe we can grab him if he's still around too, because we'll tell you about a few of the differences. And we know vMix because we have it, but we don't have Ecamm, and so at that point, we can get in the differences a little bit though of what they are. But also, like Samantha, she has a Canon M50 Mark II, and now she can stream with that because it's got a clean HDMI, but she can also have that hooked up to her PC, and she could just go right to her hard drive and record, or anyone could for that matter if you have it set up that way. And
you can go to external hard drives, right? Or
you can go to wherever you choose to. You get to choose where you record.
I mean, is that not like a dream come true? Somebody mentioned,
but a lot of people don't think about it.
No, well, it happens. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about in this chain, and sometimes those the coolest time savers just get overlooked because, well, that's just another thing I'm not looking for it. And then someone brings up, hey, did you know you could skip a lot of this by just, and there's some benefits of going right to that external hard drive, keep it off the stress of your hard drive. I don't know if people know, but if you have an SSD, like as your main operating system drive, you want to keep that half full or less all the time. Because once you get over half on that, you'll start to see a pretty quick degrade in system. So
you want to have your quick access times, right? And you also don't want to have anything coming in externally in that can also disrupt your main operating system. So keeping the majority of your downloaded stuff into a separate drive, like everything goes into what I have is my G drive, and I run 2 M.2. So both of my drives are exceptionally fast, but I learned a lesson with that though. When I had first got my first M.2 and then I put a regular SSD in, I was having problems with transfer speeds and one keeping up with the other. But I thought it would control itself. Like I thought it would just, no matter what, if you're coming out of M.2, which is on the PCI Express 16 board, it comes right into a separate external SSD, even though the speeds are different. You're like 3,600, versus 800 or so. I thought it could only handle 800, but it was just like a conflict. So I immediately took one of those out and put 2 M.2, and then the transfer speeds are incredible at this point. So
that makes sense.
Did I just talk too much about speeds and transfer speeds?
I think you may have just hurt people's ears, but no, it is important information because, again, mixing up hard drives can be a thing. And that's good to know. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break down and find a used Mac and get on Ecamm and test that out because I don't have one. I need to know more about That's the one thing I don't have.
I just got rid of one.
Maybe Patrick. Maybe what you could do is Sammy could give me a Mac that will work with it.
He can give you a Mac from 12 years ago.
Well, it'll work.
It might work. But, So last night, I think a few people are probably like, where is Ash? Why isn't she streaming? But I did get a message from her saying that she wasn't going to be streaming last night, and we did miss you. And hey, sometimes you got to do that. So no worse for the wear.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get bailed out.
That's it. Sometimes. And then you regret it. And now you missed it. Right, man?
No regrets. Jail's fine. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You got to just let that go. You were working on some important projects, if I remember too. So like your video potentially that came out. She released her.
Yes. She had one come out yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Fire Stick video. So you check it out.
Yes.
For anybody who thinks it's just plug and play, it's not. So if you have any issues with your Fire Stick or you want to see some stuff, head over there. Check out.
These are the things. Yeah, check out Ash's channel. So these are the things that I was talking to you about is that Ecamm has some things that are really simplified. And I don't want to go there yet, but I could tell by talking to Sammy about certain things, who's used both and everything. But the thing is, he'll tell you how in love he is with vMix.
He loves it.
He loves it. And it's really incredible what you can do in vMix too.
Now, and I think you can start looking at personality types and realize who likes and loves the vMix. You know, he likes Ecamm a lot. It's nothing, nothing negative about Ecamm. I think it's not about, oh, vMix is better. Listen,
No.
he's just, his personality is he likes to tinker. He likes to get involved and try to maximize and play around like you and I. And then there are people who are like, I really like the power of something like Ecamm and the simplicity, and I can get my stuff out and I don't have to be tripped up. So
yeah. And then I think also, though, it's really all, you know, when it comes down to it, there are people that are Android and there's people that are Apple and there's people that are PC and there's people that are, you know, Mac. And so
yeah, I
it
guess
comes down to that.
I get tired of the argument. I mean, I've been an Android user my whole life and I have my preferences, but to say that one is better or worse than the other is really goofy to me. But, I mean,
here's something that it always impresses me when I see people that are by themselves trying to get streaming down and working on things. Samantha is got her channel and she's pushing herself to learn OBS more and more using animated things in her stream that she puts in. She's learned how to put the chat in her stream through OBS. She's getting good quality with using it. And she's not afraid to go tackle something. So she says, I use OBS and it works great for me. There's so much you can do in OBS. Thanks to me. I know how to have pop-up chat from YouTube. Thank you for that. You worked hard to get it, though. You worked it. You wanted to. And this is something that I know Samantha talked to me about months before when I had another video come out. And we were like, it was too complicated for a lot of people. And this little new video I did stream, actually, I may do a video too, because I just feel like people don't watch restreams, you know, a lot. And so I might do a video on it just to kind of make it look a lot neater of how to do it, because it is pretty awesome. I think it's just, I'm stoked. I think it's really great how that works.
You have to say something about Samantha here. And Samantha, I have to tell you, John talks about you glowingly all the time. And I swear it's like a father talking about his kid nonstop at the party. She's always doing this. She's always going after it. She's always trying hard. She always works. So he thinks a lot of you. And same with Ash though, too.
It's like,
I mean, well, you could say that about pretty much everybody, but it's just been fun to watch. You've always said that about
Ash. What it is, it's the people that I make connections with where they were at one point and now like we've all come together with making the improvements. And so to me, it's just awesome. You know, I love that when they take it to a level that they weren't a couple weeks ago and they love where they are and they're so excited. So I don't know. That just makes me happy.
We just want to see people have fun like us. We're just goofing.
Oh yeah. We're just
What's up, Brian? You're talking about a guy that we just enjoy.
Right.
Enjoy and respect. How you doing, Brian? Wow, you both look great today.
So I think that's a note towards me, because now I'm wearing a shirt that's not freaking people out today. So
I don't think he cares about the shirts. This guy is got trophies for Emmys in his bathroom for doing work. This guy knows film and cinematography when he sees it.
Yeah.
And if he thinks your picture looks good, your picture looks good. So that makes me feel good. I really appreciate it. And Brian, you're a huge reason why I haven't pretty much burned this place down. So
yeah. Hey, any guy that is an Emmy Award winner that comes in, that watches us and gives us a compliment, a pat on the back, saying that we're doing a heck of a job, that goes a long way for us, right? We're like impressed.
I mean, we all want to know how we're doing and we want to trust where the information is coming from. And we know these lovely people and they know us, and we can share the truth bombs. And, you know, if it's good, we're going to tell you. And if it's not that we're going to bomb things, but we're going to be like, well, maybe we could do this or ship. Brian did that to me. You got to check your ego. If you want to improve, you got to get rid of the ego, and you got to be willing to say, this person knows more than I am, and I need to look at this. And sometimes it may sting but that's just how you're taking it. I just
Right.
want to get better. So I think I always welcome the information. That's all. It's always a delivery.
So this just keeps on going to what I always like to say, which is don't put yourself down about how much you might know about streaming, because streaming on a level of this scale, like it's been this last year, didn't exist. Like no one knew about it. And so I really feel like if you stepped into this now, you're ahead of a tech curve, I believe.
Are you talking
So
about Brian? You talking about Brian?
I'm talking about all of us.
Oh, okay. You're
I'm
just talking
saying,
about, okay.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about streaming, you know, I'm talking about all of us and streaming, and saying like anyone that's thinking about streaming and what it can be utilized for and the ways. It's kind of like, I said this one time, right? Remember you brought it up one day actually, but I was like the Napster. Remember everybody was downloading Napster,
Yeah.
all the songs galore, right?
Yeah. Downloading for sure.
I kind of feel like right now is another gap in this whole tech thing that people right now don't realize that they can get for the bang for their buck to be able to use streaming as advertisement for you and your business, or whatever it may be. Like say you're a nonprofit agency and you're doing a giveaway or you're trying to raise money. These are free ways to make contacts with people.
Yeah. That's starting to trickle into the universe. It's usually the last kind of phase before things just totally blow up, because if you're in restaurants, you got your own level of nightmare going on. The last thing you can do is think about, I got to set up a full-on studio, and you're going to need things to be really compressed and simplified and plug and play. And that's usually, they're the laggards of this type of usage because they don't have the time.
Yeah. Well, listen,
but it's coming. I mean, it's here now for them to be able to use. There's no doubt.
So I have a personal friend that actually, we actually got into real estate the same year, and it was, I don't know, I really feel like it's back in, I don't know, 2002, let's say. And I got my license, and this guy that I know through a lot of people, and we have friends, and his name is Ron Aosa. He lives in a couple towns away. After all these years, he stayed in real estate. He is exceptionally well known in the market. He opened up his own real estate company with a co-person. They do it together. And I see the stuff that's going out there, like in real estate. They're using drones. They're hiring people to come in and take wide angle photographs and gimbals and going through the house and doing tours that are on like levels that you wouldn't expect, and those kinds of people are making impact in their markets. And so I'm trying to like really make a point that this kind of stuff right now is really cutting edge. And I think that you utilizing it for these things, it will surprise a lot of people and put you in a place where people are going to say, that dude is innovative for his market.
Yeah, it's a great way to get a message out no matter what you're doing. The drones are great. And again, when the drones came down in prices and it became a thing and it was kind of a toy, then people are like, well, this is cheap enough for me to buy, take a risk on, and then we can start using it. And you can see what people have done with it when real estate's been huge, right? Real estate, photography places use it a lot, certain businesses that do the fly-ins and stuff. So absolutely. Again, we're going to see, this is almost like just a free TV ad opportunity for people. And you can do it in any way you want, any length, you can commit to whatever depth you want without having to go crazy. And that's the beauty of it. And if you want to shoot it on your phone and shoot off a little short about what your real estate company or your business is doing, your bar is doing tonight, there's no harm, right? It looks great in today's phone. So you're right. There's a lot of opportunity here. I think people are catching up. I mean, right now, it's getting bigger from what I can see. It's still a content creators platform, a gaming platform. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, I think eventually it's going to become a whole segment. It's going to become about where do I don't want to say advertisements, but there's going to be definitely it's a discovery thing. So it's made for what you're talking about.
Yeah, because when people first started, right? Let's be honest. When people mentioned Twitch, that's the only time you ever heard of anyone streaming.
Yes.
I mean, when it comes to me, that's the first thing that's like, right?
That's where I ended up going. I mean, I've known a Twitch for a while. I may have dipped in here or there, but I mean, when COVID hit is when, and I couldn't go anywhere or play anywhere. That's when I went, I don't know, let me just go check out Twitch because that's where the streamers are. I had no idea. And I went in there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say I remember checking that kind of stuff out 2 or 3 years ago, but that's the only place when I heard about streaming, that's the only place that I knew of at that time. So,
yeah. And yeah, Facebook's really come on, of course, with their stuff, and Instagram in the last year, especially. You know, they're laying it out there. So, I mean, it's becoming very commonplace. So I don't know. I mean, everything's going to be done by phones at some point here, probably. But I mean, there are limits to the phone. I mean, you can make some great stuff, but if you want to really be creative, that will set people apart.
Right.
And so if you really want to get in, you're going to need some better equipment, some better know-how. But if you want to just get in and you want to start making discovery and awareness of your business or your brand, obviously you can use a phone from years ago and get that done. Break to see it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using a S8, right, for a lot of stuff, and I've even done some overhead shots with that and did some video, and the video looks good. So I mean, it's as long as you have enough lighting, it looks good. So I don't have a problem with that. So Brian says, get a license if you fly. Totally worth it and kind of fun, really. So I got a couple really cheap drones, and I'm like spastic with them. So, and what's funny is my son's like, give me that, let me try. And it's like amazing how fast these kids learn with these things in comparison.
It's a video game controller for them. You know what I mean? They're like, they come out of the womb with their little fingers doing it.
It gets me really annoyed. Yeah. But the cool thing is,
he's like, Dad, you're embarrassing me. Give me the controller.
But the cool thing is, like, if he can learn how to do the drone really cool, and I could do the ground cam, we could be a great team.
I just don't know how much longer he's going to want to be like, have Dad always cramping his style, though. He's going to want to be going out with the kids and doing his thing.
He's 9 until Saturday.
So you got another year. enjoy the year. Just kidding.
I hope not. I love that kid. So
no, you're right though. That would be a lot of fun to do. Get somebody out there, work with you in tandem, and work on some things. That'd be really cool. And you guys do a lot of projects together, so that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I want to do more of them, and so I'm looking forward to it. And plus, with the extra equipment that I'm picking up here and there, I think I talked to you. What? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. Every stream, it's like, you know, the equipment I'm picking up, or I just picked up, or I'm going to pick up, and I'm like, your doorbell must be worn out from like deliveries and.
There's nothing wrong with my doorbell. Okay, I record everything that comes in there.
Okay.
So.
Listen,
you need the equipment. Okay,
I ordered some things today, and I didn't even tell you.
You ordered?
I did order a few things, not maybe what you think I ordered, but I did order some. I ordered 3 things today. A little something to do some products.
I know one that you definitely ordered.
No, you don't. No.
So you didn't order your camera?
No, I didn't order my camera. I was kind of waiting to see if it would drop in price. Brian assured me he's still on here. Brian, where's that ZE-10? Damn it.
Listen, I'm going to give a hint to everybody because you're going to see it soon. And I want people to watch the streams when I start doing it.
Should I order my camera live next Tuesday on my stream? Like we just place the order.
Yeah.
Live.
Hey, as long as if you want to waste more time to wait to get your cam, go ahead.
I'm not wasting time. This camera has been filming just fine down here, but I can't remote with it. I can't vlog with it, take it out because there's no mic input on the 5100. So it's just, I'm not going to do the whole duct tape, a zoom to it and then sync it up in post. I'm not going to do that.
You're not?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. You would totally just kill me if I did that. Hi, Lala. How you doing?
Thanks, Lala, for stopping in.
there you can come in anytime you want, you can leave anytime you want, and you can't really leave.
So every now and then she's doing a stream during the middle of the day when I'm grabbing lunch or doing something.
Yep.
I pop it on and I watch for a while. You know, if I can watch 15, 20 minutes, I'll watch 15, 20 and catch how she's doing and what the lady friends are doing and what they're working on. And they're always making something pretty cool. So I like that. So I'm getting called out here, Jeff.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I'm just loving this.
Why does this happen?
This is making me my day right here. So I want to read it. Actually, your wife says our doorbell doesn't work. You said you were going to replace the transformer 4 months ago. Here's my thing. You probably don't know where the transformer is in the basement.
It's not in the basement.
Oh, where is it? That's unusual. Usually
it's a bi-level.
Is it in the wall?
No.
Okay.
See?
Well,
that was the first thing I had to do, right? So typically in a bi-level, the transformer is in the utility room by the washer and dryer.
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
but not mine, not in this development.
Oh, really?
It's over the door in the attic.
I hate the attic.
Yeah, it would have been so easy.
You can't do this until it cools off. You can't go.
Yeah, I don't know. I might do it. It'd be quick, but I know where it is, and that was my point. I wanted to get it done in the spring, and I was supposed to. But when our doorbell rings, it still rings because I have a ring. It goes right to our phone.
Was that your point? Because you just said your doorbell was fine, and it wasn't fine. You
know why? Because my chime box, and that's not code word. My chime box doesn't work. All right.
Wait, is the chime box the problem or the transformer the problem?
It's the transformer because it doesn't output enough with using a ring.
Well, then the chime box is fine.
The chime box doesn't work though because it's not putting out enough power from the transformer to ring the chime box.
Well, I think we understand the chain. You got a transformer that has to send the little dealy up.
Yeah,
right?
I have the transformer. It's in the kitchen. It's in the cabinet or wherever, and
Danielle,
it just needs to get changed.
Does he get this? He get this restless when you start calling him out on the kitchen. He's getting into that.
She loves this, dude.
Where were you on the 4th at 4 o'clock? It's interrogation time.
Listen, I'm going to be really truthful. This move took a lot out of me. It took a lot out of me. And I'm going to be even more truthful is that my wife has stepped up to the plate and done some incredible things in this house. So
that, folks, is what you call a save. That is a save.
Yeah.
Nicely done, sir.
Yeah. No, I'm being truthful. It's incredible. Sure. Like the things that she has done that I didn't know she could do is incredible. Like the house is just amazing. I'll walk into a room. She's like, I'm going to paint this and I'm going to sand this down. The staircase that came in, I thought we were going to have to rip it up. Literally, when we tore off the carpet, then I found out there was hardwood on top and we were able to refinish it and put treads on it and paint everything on the sides after we're done. And I might be with my new setup. I might be able to show you this all, what I'm talking about in the next week or so. But the point is, she did an amazing job and it looks fantastic.
Well,
yeah, well,
I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. And just, don't fib about the transformer next time and we'll be all right.
Lala doesn't sleep.
I know she doesn't.
So she's up doing stuff all the time.
She's crazy. I got to
See, this is why she's so excited. Yeah, that's why she's like, my chime box doesn't work and I have 17 different sounds to use.
But you should be very sympathetic. You have all these toys and you always want to get them out there and play with them right away. And your poor wife has one toy, a chimes that does 17 different rings. And, she's excited, but she can't use it because that transformer won't work.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Every morning she looks longingly at the box of the new chimes and she thinks, if only.
Yeah.
If only we had a transformer.
Yeah. So Chris stopped by just about a week or two ago, I think 2 weeks ago, and he saw, and he got to see all the work that she put in. I do nothing. So,
well,
obviously I do nothing.
I don't know, man. You put 3 new lights behind you this week. So, you got that going for you in the bottom.
Yeah. Well, every time you step it up and make me look bad, I got to try to improve my look.
I've got something coming that might make you squirm. Next Sunday.
I ordered the Pavo 4-foot.
Oh, you did?
No, I can't afford those. You crazy?
Well, you said it like it was real. You're lying a lot tonight. You're lying a lot tonight.
The only reason I brought that up is because Brian was, he texted me the other day and he was talking about looking at the smaller ones and the 4-foot ones and stuff. So that's all. I love those things. They are cool as hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally get you on other people in the house doing things that you should be doing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she is awesome. And so here's the thing. My point is, if you don't know what OBS is, right? Open broadcast software.
I think I pulled something on that segue, but yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, we got to get back to that. If you don't know what that is, they have two different versions, right? They have the studio and they have, what's the other one? Streamlabs. Streamlabs OBS.
Yep.
Okay. And you're going to have to go look and do your homework about which one you like. I ended up liking the studio. And that's what I have always used and I still do. And
same here. Yeah.
It's free. There are literally hundreds of applications you can download and set up and use in that, right? What do they call them? What are they when you download them? My mind is shot. So what do we call those little things?
You're talking about the plugins?
Plugins. That's the word I wanted. Yes. Thank you. Plug it in and rip it off.
Hey, look, John's tired. He was up till 4 a.m. doing a stream. So
I am tired. But yeah, so that's the plugins are amazing. But where did we hit? Tell them like where we hit the wall a little bit when it came to us. And this is again, there are streamers and YouTubers with 100,000 subscribers that use this, and they know how to use everything absolutely perfect. So it probably is easier for them. But you know what it is? It's not even just that. I like to learn new things and I like to go and try new things. And then I could decide what I want to use, because the thing is with Ecamm and vMix, there are all free things that you can use for a certain time to see what works for you. Right. So
yeah,
you can go use those things for free and really find out what does work for you. And the OBS is super impressive. But where did we kind of hit the wall a little bit
with OBS?
Yeah.
Well, you can't bring other people in, right? I mean, so that's one. If you're talking about from a technological standpoint, I don't really know what you're alluding to, honestly.
Well, that was one thing what you just said.
That's a big one where if we want to bring a guest in, you can't do it. Chat, you couldn't bring chat in. I know you have kind of.
Yeah, we have a way.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Well, again, this is all Brian.
Right.
And you know what? I love the feedback, especially from the guy. You know, it's like having like your coach going, you're doing what you're doing. You're listening. You're following the directions right for once. And I don't do that all the time. So I would say things like anything that's a bit interactive, right? So bringing in people, the issues with what was I just saying?
While you're thinking, I want to drop in this guy. We found each other this week through a common interest stream. And
wait, were you guys on a common stream and then he swiped left or something? Is that how's that?
Oh, real nice. I love this guy's energy.
Well, look at the smile on this guy. I already can tell this Zan's got hellacious energy. So
and so I watched a couple of videos and he found me in a stream, I think, and he subscribed and I checked out him, and he just started this new YouTube channel, and he has a coach that he works with that I actually subscribe to also. He's a YouTuber. And I was like, wow, I love the energy that I'm getting from these people. Let me go and check him out. So I did. And I checked out his videos, and anyone that puts a smile on my face or makes me feel happy, I love that, because it gives good energy, good vibes to me. And so if you want to go check out another new guy, Zan the Man right here, go check him out. He's new too. And I think it's great that new people go check out other new people too, not only just for the support, but to see what other new YouTubers are doing and how they're growing. It's important to understand where we all are.
Yeah, I have to check Zan out for sure.
Yeah. So Zan, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for checking us out. This is my partner, Jeff, here. On Thursdays, I do the stream. On Tuesdays, he does the stream on his channel. And you could find Jeff's channel in the description down below. So check us out more often. Thank you. So Lala's here. She says, I wanted to use OBS because the crafters were using them and I started, but it was difficult for me to learn. So I ended up with Ecamm.
Well,
So
it's not like you ended up with something bad. That's for sure. And you do
Right.
great with it. So that's all that really matters. That's an interesting thing because that gets back to what we were talking about. Even OBS has a little tech threshold compared to something like Ecamm, I guess. So, well, it does. And so I think for someone like Lala, Ecamm, I've never heard her say she's really struggling with Ecamm, but she could let me know. And if you're not struggling with it, you're liking it, then no regrets, right? It doesn't matter at all. If you someday you want to feel like you want to go back and learn that, it'll always exist, of course.
Right.
It is a sweet pick, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And so he says, wow, guys, thanks so much. You're amazing. Well, you know what it is I think it's important. And Jeff and I just started streaming and we're new too, Zan. Yep. We're new. Jeff's been streaming for 1 month. He's had a YouTube channel for 1 month. I've had a YouTube channel for about 9 months. And I've been streaming since April 1st of this year. And so we work really, really hard to improve. And we like good energy. So
we talk about that all the time, that we really are magnets to the energy. Yeah. And there's so much great energy here and people like yourself, Zan. Glad to see you. Let's get in a circle because I just think it's great to have that as we're trying to start. You need that energy.
Absolutely.
There's always enough of the other energy. There's never enough of Zan.
Yes. Yeah. And that is the idea. Wait a second, Jeff. How many subscribers did you have today, by the way?
I had 39 when I jumped on, sir.
Boom.
Oh, Zan.
That's awesome. Yeah, 46.
Well, you know what? He'll be seeing my ugly mug on a notification because
and Zan,
because I want to be able to wake up to that profile pic going, I got a video, guys.
Right. And so Zan, I know you have people that you have in your circle that help you with things, but always keep us in mind if it comes to streaming and you want a little help or some insight onto a few things, reach out to us, send me an email. We'll go back and forth. I've jumped on StreamYards with people and helped them set up things. And so Jeff has sent emails to people to help them out, and we work together. So that's what we do.
Absolutely. It's fun. It's the whole joy of the journey thing.
Right.
So Samantha's on Streamlabs. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the thing. You go in and you go and check out both and see what you like to use. A lot of people like one or the other, but there are differences. So, and you just check them out. And she was backing you up too. Plugins, right? My brain's fried today.
She's just so much smarter than you. And yeah, we're gonna get you. Samantha and I are gonna get you through this night. We're gonna make.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. See, I need you guys too.
Take our hand. We will walk you through the threshold of streaming. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, I was at work and I was like, I can't wait till this day is over. God, it was a long day. I was down at the airport for half of the day. So,
gotta wear you out no matter what.
Here he is, right? He says energy is everything. And I get that vibe for him. You know, because that's why I use that lingo while talking about him, is because, dude, when you pop on his channel and watch a video, I get that vibe, like a good energy. And so he's going to do well. And I know that as long as he keeps on doing what he wants to do and he actually stays consistent with it, he's got nowhere to go up. And that's what I felt with like everybody that's here, the people that jump in our streams and we all help and support each other on a lot of stuff. Everybody's been going on an upwhirl, an uptick on things, and so that's the plus. So
it's moving forward, right?
That's it.
Oh yes, I love Ecamm. It's like made for people like me. The struggle was just for a while. Luria's LSP live streaming pros show is how I found Ecamm and just watched all her videos on the how-tos.
Yes,
so you made it happen, and your streams look great. So congratulations. I mean, you should be proud of that. Seriously. I think people, we do something, finally we get past something, and then we don't even recognize it, right? We just move on to the next struggle, which is fine. But man, be proud. Give yourself a pat on the back a little bit too for accomplishing
Right.
something like that.
And the thing is, everybody has different strong points or weaknesses. And if tech is, not your strong point, or maybe learning it, or it feels like it gives you a little bit of anxiety about what it might entail to get the job done, that's understandable. I mean, we all have it in some fashion,
Yeah.
some way along this whole big chain of streaming and teching and YouTubing. We all have something that hits us pretty hard, right?
Yeah. And some people are good at transformers fixing, and some people aren't. You can't beat yourself up.
Right.
You can't
Not fixing it. I'm just replacing it. God. When you just talk about these transformers, I start thinking about at work. Oh God.
I suppose you do. That's probably a little bit, traumatic for you. I'll try to I'll calm it down. Sorry.
Jeez.
All right. Well, he's going to do some live streaming here next month.
Well, that's fantastic. I plan to start live streaming with StreamYard sometime in July. That's great. I can't wait until you do that. And you just make sure you let us all know and keep everybody on the up and up. And we're going to see great stuff. I know it. I know it. So good. Everybody's chatting in here and everybody's talking, and that's great. And like I always say, if you all want to find each other afterwards, put a comment in my video down here. It wouldn't even hurt to hit the like button too. But then below that, put a comment so people can find you. Because don't forget, if you have a smaller channel that hasn't hit the algorithm yet, it's hard to find each other. And when you put a comment down below and we can just click on your channel, that makes a huge boost for everybody to find each other.
In the video after it's done, right?
Yeah, in the video after we're done, not in the live chat. After the video is done, put a comment down below, whatever it may be.
Even if you have to come back tomorrow, just drop your, Xan, come back, and don't think just because we're all subscribed already. Go ahead and put it in. Somebody else may trip on this video and see that, and or see us talking about you, and it'd be nice to have your
and we want to grow the community, right? I mean, we want input from everybody. We want different things that people have friction with, and they can bring in their problem, and then it will be something new that maybe we haven't talked about. And then the more times that happens, it fills the gaps of what people do and don't know. So we love that. What's going on here? What do you see?
I just love Brian. He just makes me feel good about stuff.
I gotta catch up on the chat here. So he always says this. This is his way.
Every time it makes me laugh. I don't know why. I'm so easy. I'm so easy, but I know Brian, so then I can hear him saying it too. But Brian's so talented. He does have this video on his channel. You got to check it out, the orangutan, because that's his right now it's his most popular video, and
right.
And we're going to stay on him. So this is a good question.
It is a good question. And the thing that you got to know about Ecamm, okay, since we're kind of getting closer to this now, the Ecamm and the vMixes, is Ecamm is monthly. So you pay monthly for the product, and vMix is a one-time payment. And whatever you choose with vMix, though, if you want to step to the next level, you're only paying the difference on that level. But on the Ecamm, you're paying monthly. And for you to even get a virtual cam, you have to pay the highest monthly price, which I believe is $40 a month.
Right. But let's just really get the apples because he's asking about Ecamm versus StreamYard here, not vMix.
Well, first things first, I just want to say, though, like right now, I'm using vMix, and then I'm pulling everything in through virtual cam into StreamYard. So if you're thinking about doing that, where you get the benefit of having Ecamm and setting things up in Ecamm and the easy usability of, you can have color correction, you can have all these types of things that you have in vMix and Ecamm. But if you're going to even do that and use it as a virtual cam, you have to have the highest version of Ecamm to do that, to have a virtual cam. But I'm not sure that's everything you're asking here. So what were you going to say?
Well, let me ask you though, with the Ecamm, I mean, I'm just missing it, but with Ecamm, it's
Yeah.
like an OBS local based thing, but you're going through their servers, right, to push out, right, to live. John?
I'm not absolutely sure, to be honest with you, because this is something that I am not a Mac guy, so I have absolutely no
Okay.
interest in this.
I'm going to firm it up, but I just don't believe that he has to use StreamYard with Ecamm is kind of my point.
No, he doesn't. No.
I would think
Right.
that you would use Ecamm with the Ecamm ecosystem going out. So Zan, what I'm saying is if you're going to get into Ecamm, which is a wonderful product, if you decide to go that model, then you would just use the whole ecosystem to push everything out. You probably use StreamYard. Not that you couldn't, but I don't know if that would make complete sense.
Right. So the StreamYard and the OBS and anything that you use with StreamYard as a virtual cam, right? Because you could use OBS as a virtual cam. It lets you do like some cool things, right? So I can do some animated things. I can go and put the overlays in like this, where I could just actually it doesn't work unless I click on this, but I can go and hit this and have an overlay, right?
Yeah.
And so those are the kinds of things that you can do in it all. But the thing is, you don't need any of that. So you could just bring in a cam and a mic, and then you can go and have your setting in your studio and then pull up all the comments just like this. And that's all you need, Zan. That's all you need.
Yeah, you know, I'll it's a weak point with me because I don't have a Mac. Yeah, you can't use vMix on Mac. No. So that's
just a PC.
And that's the same thing. You can't use emac on PC. So they're a little specific on that. I'm going to dig into emac because I don't like not having answers to this and one of those things.
Jeff, can you drop? Yeah, just drop it. And then what's your channel name?
It's J.A. Smith, like my name. But did you put the link down below? Because
the link is it should be in the description.
Okay, because you could look up J.A. Smith, but you're probably gonna have to search in the filter of channel to find probably about 10 down in the list. Because I changed my name from Drum Up Studio to just my name, J.A. Smith, as you see on the screen. And the link is at the bottom. So thanks for asking. I appreciate that. That's lovely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So the link should be in the description to Jeff's channel. And if I did happen to forget, which I don't think I did, it will be in there after the show.
Okay, so he's clearing this up rather well, I think.
Yeah. So now I understand what he's saying. So first things first, Zan, do you have a Mac or a PC? Because Ecamm is just for Mac, vMix is for, and these are for enhancements. But also, I wouldn't even think about using them as enhancements unless you are taking it to the next level, because there's absolutely no reason to spend the money if you're just going to start live streaming and you have a decent cam and a mic, or if you don't spend the money on that, if you don't have the decent cam or you don't have the mic, or one or the other, just take your time and start with A and B, which is your camera and your mic and your lighting. I added C because that was my main thing I forgot to do when I started, was spend some money on some good lighting.
Yeah. So he's on a Mac. So
that would relate to him, but he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. If he wanted to, he could he wouldn't need OBS or anything. You're right. Just go ahead and put your mic in, it should pick all that stuff up right away. Generally, if you have issues, find your peeps or find us. We'd be happy to help you guide you through that. And you're ready to roll and make people happy.
Right.
I don't think he'll have any problem once he has that hardware hooked up and he's got that, he can see he's in the studio and all that. I think he's just going to fly. I think he'll be fine because StreamYard is really, really simple.
Right. Yeah. No, StreamYard is really simple. You're gonna get a grasp out in it in like 15 minutes, and from there, it's gonna smooth out your whole stream. Like I'm gonna be really honest with you. I think I'm more nervous now when I do the countdown and I want everything to be perfect than I was when I did my first live stream.
Yeah, but that's because it's like the price thing. As you do things more and more, and you put more and more time into something, you have a higher expectation of yourself to do it. And you want to do things. You get excited when something works. We all do. It's a human. As long as you don't have regret or beat yourself up about something not working. I had some things recently that didn't go well technically.
Right.
You got to just be okay with it. Thanks, Ann. Yeah, great. It is in the first paragraph.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm not that much of a
well, you've had a day. You've been lying a lot. You've been forgetting plugins. where it's kind of, we're having to take care of you. It takes a village to raise a John.
But in the stream last night, when I said I dunked it in 3 basketball games of my life, that was not a lie.
You're awesome, Samantha.
I'm the white Charles Barkley.
Are you? Because that dude's pretty talented, and just because you could dunk at 16, I don't know that really.
16. No, I dunked at I think 19.
So you peaked at 19, and you're comparing yourself to Charles Barkley. I don't.
No, I didn't peak at 19. That was my first dunk. I peaked at like 24. Then I blew out the ankle.
The honesty is awesome. Oh, you're so great. Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much, Samantha and Zan.
Strength wise, I kept going, but
yeah, I mean, you're strong as an ox.
Used to be.
Well, you're still strong. Come on.
No, I'm still strong for an average guy, but not like I used to be, superhuman. Okay, I should be all set. I do daily coaching sessions on Zoom. I had 5. Oh, that's awesome.
You're gonna kill it, man. You're gonna just.
Yeah, and you could tell he's so comfortable in front of the cam. He's smooth, and I
think people that can smile. Yeah, I'm laughing, and I saw his profile picture, and I can see profile pictures, and I'm like, yeah, like you can just tell. It's always the eyes and the smile. I mean, look, I'm not saying he couldn't be like, I don't know, like spank dogs and do bad things to kids. I'm just saying that he looks like he's a really great, energetic dude, and
Yeah, and then when you watch his video, it just tells you that. So he said, one last question, please. How often are you guys broadcasting, or what's your broadcast schedule? So I do the live stream that's rock solid Thursdays at 9 p.m. And then Jeff does his, because I have to push him every week at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. So
you're killing him. Oh my God. You're a ball of lies tonight.
So anyway, we work together. I love Jeff. He puts up with me too. And we make a good duo, because the thing I like about Jeff is every time if I'm diving into something, he poses a question that I don't ever think of. And he brings out more information out of the both of us as we go. And he does this consistently. And on top of that, he's just as goddamn sarcastic as I am, and no one knows it. So don't trust this guy. He's sarcastic.
Do not trust him. We are great. I love John too, and we are great compliments, and our tech, our interest, huge overlaps. But I do like the fact that we kind of string out and help each other in areas we might have a little bit of less insight into. So that's always fun, because it kind of helps as you're moving forward. But I owe a lot to John, and it's awful.
So I'm strong in the tech department, and then if I lose him in that section, he just completely loses me in other sections. And so we work together with that. So it's Eastern time, 9 p.m. And you can look in my thumbnail. It backs that up. It's Eastern time, and it's 9 p.m. on Thursdays is my stream, and then Jeff's at his channel is 9 p.m. Eastern time on his channel. And it doesn't mean that both of us might not go out and stream at any given time, because I'll go out there on a Saturday if I want to. And I just want to get out there and say hi. It's a different time. There's different people out there. And sometimes I'm excited about something. I might just jump on and talk. And I fell in love with live streaming. And I think a guy like Zan, he might fall into that same thing. So watch out, Zan. It's addicting. It's fun. It's interactive. And the people are awesome. And I love it. I love it.
It's addictive. And I just flash forward 8 months when we're all sitting in like some Streamer Anonymous intervention program. And we're just like, you gotta admit you have a problem. You just love streaming too much and you're addicted to it. So
yeah. And I do. I love it. So
Zan's in Pacific time. So we kept reaching across the whole spectrum here of the zones. I love it. I love it, man. That's great.
And there's one person, he's far away. He's consistent conversation is across the ocean on Europe. And whenever he stops in here, I do miss him at times. And so when he does come in, I love the energy he brings too. And he's got some great stuff going on. And we got a lot of our community coming in, and we're just dropping, we're learning. And what's great is the more that everybody else learns too along the way, when something comes up, they're answering the questions right in the chat.
Yeah. And, you know, look, and some of you already stream, you're going to stream, and I'll tell you from my standpoint, and I know John too, you know, we're trying to answer questions. But the other issue is when we come in, like tonight, on some of these eCam questions, what happens is you guys have your own knowledge and your own perspectives, and we end up learning too, because we either now or we're gonna have to, we make notes after the show about what we didn't know, maybe a strength or something. We'll come back and we'll learn. This is going to always be an evolution of learning because it's never ending, because nobody can be great at everything. So we are dependent on chat too, to bring in the knowledge and to essentially also educate us on things. So it's a total team effort. I want it to be a team effort.
I just want to keep on making people's heads spin and just saying that Jeff's been streaming for 1 month and I've been streaming since the 1st of April.
This is my 1 month. This is my 1 month anniversary.
This is yesterday, right? Yeah, 1 month. And I just want to stress, when you want to know something or you fall in with a passion about something, it shows, it runs through you like a truck. And that's the way I feel about it. And so when people say, you know, well, how much can you know? I think you'll be blown away how much Jeff and I know about streaming. So, and I think people are going to start vouching for that, and we're going to build a community within ourselves, and we're going to see where this goes.
I think there's this, you know, and this kind of, I don't want to get off into the weeds, but I think this always gets back to that weird idea of gurus versus guides, and that kind of that, and somewhere in between. The truth of it is, just because someone's new to streaming doesn't mean they're new to tech or new to being aware. There are plenty of people here. Let's take Zan. I don't know Zan's backstory, but just because he's new to stream doesn't mean it doesn't immediately have an impact when he starts streaming on what he knows. We all have a massive history of things that we've done that we built to this point. And you and I have worked in tech for quite a long time. I've been a freelancer for nearly 30 years myself.
Right.
So, you know, we have our skill sets. It's just streaming is its own entity. But I think we weirdly judge people by, oh, they're new streamers, or they haven't started streaming, or they only have three subs. We got to stop that. And so I don't know where I'm getting off on this rant.
Well, you know, I think it's a really good point, because the thing is, people automatically think that you got to go to subscribers that are 200,000, 100,000, 50,000 to get your answers. Whereas people that are in it from the get-go, that are in the tech that they're learning right now, which is the latest tech, right?
Yeah.
Where even the people that have 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers, they didn't even have a Rodecaster last year either. Okay. So, you know, they have a Rodecaster. Well, we have a Rodecaster. I have an A10 Mini. You got to go XLR. We got top-notch cameras. So, I mean, you can go on about that, but then you have to learn how to use them. So there's a lot involved. I'm not saying there's no way I'm saying it's easy, but what I'm saying is you don't have to do something for 10 years to learn something. And if you do, then I think you better step it up a little bit.
No, tenacity would be tenacity and not quitting. Like I quit 20 times this whole process last 3 months, but not seriously. I mean, we all get that. This is not easy on a very psychological level, much less a logistical and financial level at times. I told John, I've never owned a camera in my life except for my phone. And I never even knew what ISO was, but I got my first DSLR camera February 29th of this year, an A5100. That's what I'm using right now.
Right.
And, I guess my point is I'm no genius. Now I know a lot about tech, and so I understand systems and concepts, but this is a different animal. And so I can do it. We can get anybody to go from zero to here in really quick time. Like there's no need to struggle with this. This should be something that you can do really quickly, really well with the people that are willing to help you.
And there are certain things that people excel at. Now, for me, I took photography in high school, so I had a background. But now just imagine, I was in a black room at that point, or a dark room, but it was a dark room, a real dark room, like a real one, you know, with the chemicals and everything. And no, right? the people, like half the people don't even know what we're talking about. So it's like
You know, they
now,
don't. They're like pictures hanging up on. I don't get it. That's crazy.
yeah, drying. And so now, right, we can go out with these DSLRs and these mirrorless cameras and we can go take 1,000 pictures. And now how easy is it? Remember you used to get your pictures back and you were like, okay, this one's bad. That you had like one. It was like one picture of you down the shore.
You go to the Kodak booth and you would get that envelope after 5 months and you open your picture from your travel thing. You're going through and you're like, oh, I'm so excited. And you get one photo and it's usually not one that you're in because you're taking it at Yosemite and you're like, oh, that's great. I got a weed or whatever. I don't know what this is. This is the only picture worked out. It's so disappointing.
But don't worry, save the negatives. We'll get other ones.
Oh, geez.
And then you got these negatives that you don't even like. You're saving them because I think you're supposed to, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So Brian says streaming is a whole other animal, and it is. It is a whole nother animal. Versus I think recording your YouTube channels, videos, it's different because you can really plan things out in your YouTube videos, but they are different animals, animals. But the thing is, you need to do both. You do.
Yeah. And
it's hard.
It is hard. And we've gone through this just because we're all going through it. I was going to be honest. We've gone through this and we had discussions, and this is what got us into things like Notion. Tuesday night was the first night that I used that app to prep for that show. And I'm learning you have to prep
right
more than you think, whether it's, research on the subjects and how you're going to lay it out. And we're creating those platforms because there is no way without prep to really give a decent presentation. So that's beyond, as Brian said, it's a different animal because it's live and it has a little different connotation to it and feel. And then when you're doing videos and you're recording your videos, that's a different animal too.
Right.
So he's dead on. It is a different animal.
It is. And the thing is about me, I love it. I really do.
Yeah, live. You and I both love it. I mean, clearly we're annoying in a way.
I don't know. I just love it. And so Lala says, on point, John, you may have all the gear, but still not know how to make use of it, of them. So yeah, absolutely. But if you're going to spend the money for the gear, the next step is to dive into it. Right. So when I got an ATEM, I dove in how to use it. When you get a Rodecaster and you dive into it. And the thing is also though, that's just me. But when people do get gear and they need a specific use out of it, then that's all they care about. And then that's fine too. So if you're getting an ATEM because I need a switcher, right? So I could switch my scenes. I could take a look around, right? And that's all I'm using it for, then that's fine. But the thing is, this ATEM does so much more than that, right? Because I could drop overlays in here. I can go and pull audio out of each feed. So there's a lot of things that you could use this for also.
I don't want to get into it. I was going to say, how much does an ATEM go for mini these days?
$300.
Okay. So
it's not horrible,
but it's again, we're going to get off subject. I was going to say
go ahead though. We're already in the second hour and we'll wrap up what we're going to talk about streaming, but go ahead, bring it up. We're here. So,
well, first thing I want to say is Lala, I know you have a lot of questions and sometimes just whenever you're here, even if it's not related to the topic and you have an issue, just drop it here. If we can't answer it for some reason, we're on somebody here. We definitely always drop your questions.
Yeah,
here.
Always do that. I mean, that's the point.
Everybody do that. It doesn't have to be about the subject. If somebody a lot of times in the chat, we'll either walk you through something or we'll stop and we'll actually get through.
So guys, when you look at this, right, it says a topic a little bit, but then it says Q&A after. So that means that we could talk about anything. So if you got to drop something in, and I'll be better at saying at a certain point when we wrap things up that you can go in and just throw some questions in here too. And so I think a little bit me being proactive about the queue will help out a little bit too. So, but yeah, any questions about anything, that's what we're here for. So Zan, didn't have to be your last question, but you're going out for dinner anyway. Thanks for being so kind, friendly, and welcoming. You guys are the best. I will be returning. And that's fantastic, Zan. That's the energy we want. Those are the people we want. Keep on joining us and welcome to the fam.
Yeah, it's great to meet you, Zan. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of each other here and there in your streams and ours. So.
Absolutely. That's great. See, that's what I love.
I know you do. You get tickled.
I do. I love that.
You just get all.
It really makes me happy because I think it's like it's all about finding the people that are for you and you finding the people that, you know, vice versa. So it's like if you find those niches where you really interact well with people and you come back for more, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, what I was talking about, I agree.
Yeah, go ahead. You were
what I-
finishing up a comment.
I was just, I always love these comparisons when you say, oh, they ate him. And then I think, oh, yeah, for $300. And then but it's a little more complicated than something like maybe a Stream Deck. And so are some people that it's just a discussion point of too much tech for somebody, even though it does great things, versus for somebody, they just need a switcher and a little button so they can either switch
Yeah, but
scenes.
the thing is, you're not going to get a cheaper switcher. So whatever other tech you're not going to use with an ATEM, you still can use it for switching.
Well, again,
What I'm saying is what are you going to find that's going to be cheaper? Because right now, what does a cam link cost you? $100 each.
$100 for one.
Right. So if you're going to get 4 cam links to get 4 different scenes, that's 400. It's 300 and you have 4 captures right here.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
that just, when you think like that, right?
Yeah.
It just makes you realize.
Are you using, what are you doing then? So
I'll show you. So I have my ATEM that's sitting right here at my desk and it's hard for me to see. I'll try to bring this down a little bit like this and I'll get my seltzer bottle out of here. So here's my ATEM. Here's the switcher and it's got 4 main buttons on it. Okay. So my main scene is me right here. And then my side scene is this. And then my third, I have it hooked into an HDMI for my display. So I have it on display 1. So now you can see my vMix or whatever I pull onto there.
Okay.
Now you don't have to use that.
No.
You can go and add, another camera. And that's what I choose to do. And then I have my 4 is my backside camera.
Okay.
Okay. So you can do that or you could do whatever. And then if you wanted to, I could get rid of, the desktop scene and I could add another camera and then I can pull in a cam link or to just do a desktop also.
That's cool. Yeah.
Because I have a cam link, right? So you could just do that. And if you were in OBS too, you would just do the same thing. You would use the ATEM, have your 4 connections, and then you could pull in a cam link and have your 5th connection.
So it gives you four camera HDMI's ends.
Yes. Plus audio. Yeah. So you can do a lot more too. It can be hooked up. It could be hooked up to your network and you could pull things. You can drop in a bunch of scenes and displays also into it and then pull them up and pull them in. And then the other thing that I forgot to tell you about is if I go to my desktop, you can also, or even here, I could do a picture in picture, right?
I swear it's like it's like the deck of the starship with your.
No, but isn't that like when you think about all those factors, then you're like, wow, that freaking piece of equipment is so worth it.
No, I've never really heard anybody say anything negative about it. It's just not something that I've needed to this point. However, I am going to run into a quick issue with my second camera and a decision point. Do I just spend another $100 on another cam link, which is going to be a problem depending on how many HDMI inputs you have going into your, say your laptop or whatever, right? So you're going to have that issue. So I'm supposing that might be a better option for me to, yeah, but
just remember, we talked about this before. We can go to that $15, $20 capture card.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
But the issue you got though, I only have one HDMI into this laptop that I use. Right.
Well, yeah, all you're gonna have to do is just get a powered bank.
Yeah, I guess you can do a little splitter or something kind of thing, right?
No, you just get a powered USB bank. You got to get one that not just is hooking up to the USB 3. You want USB 3 plus power.
No, the cameras are running HDMI. So
yeah, it's HDMI to USB 3. Look at your cam link, right? It goes from HDMI. It goes from USB 3 to HDMI to your camera.
Oh, that's right. I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is if it's not powered, it's gonna suck too much juice out.
Yeah, I don't know how I got into it. Yeah, all my banks are powered. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's all. So what's he saying here?
He's going to bed. But
Oh,
he went to bed. He woke up again, and then went to bed again. He
hey,
probably
listen,
had.
man, we
He
love
probably
when
had,
people stop in. So,
yeah, absolutely. He
all
probably had
right,
to
brother.
fire up the game again or something like that. There's a question that Brian, I didn't want to step over because he had written something. I think he wrote this to personally. No, up. It's about go up about 5.
Are we talking about this?
Yeah. So
Turn into a zombie or the Hulk?
he had to
Or
drop. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
what's he saying? Go ahead.
Well, he's saying if I wanted to slowly turn into a zombie or the Hulk, are there camera OBS settings I can dial in? I don't know, but I think he's referring to my Walking Dead filtering mode I had going on last night when we were, or was that last night? Yeah, it was last
Yeah.
night.
Well, I don't know if he's talking about that, but remember how I was doing? We had those plugins that we did where I was doing the shake, and I could turn myself green.
I don't think so. Brian, what are you alluding to? You're alluding to the Walking Dead on the Ninja
It
last
has to be because you were turning green yesterday and you look like a zombie. So, but you can do that in OBS plugins too. So that is cool.
He goes, yeah, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that was crazy. Or you could do this.
No, don't. No, people probably just ate. Oh, that's a thumbnail right there. that last little eyeball look.
You like that, right?
That's a good one. Like that's thumbnail.
Could be a thumbnail.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You caught that we were using. They actually had what was called rainbow depuke.
Yeah, rainbow depuke. So obviously, I think you hit the head right on the nail. I think it might be dropping cache so that way it could keep on dealing with how much data is coming through. But the thing is, I just want to let Brian know he's bringing up that Jeff and I did a stream last night where we were using VDO Ninja. It used to be called OBS Ninja, where you actually can use OBS and then pull in people on your screen, kind of like just like this. So we had a side-by-side thing going on OBS. It's kind of like a little duct tape kind of fix to make things work. It's not perfect, but for free, it can work. And it does look decent enough to be able to get a live stream done. But we had a coloration issue, and they have this button in there that actually says, what does it say, Jeff?
It's a rainbow depuker.
Rainbow depuke button.
That's what it is.
And so I hit that button, and then it springs back Jeff's coloration to a correct coloration. And so we don't know what that's all about. And we just really using this stuff because I love to mess around with this stuff.
But it's amazing that they must know this is happening because they actually put a button in there so you could constantly unpuke me. But that was, I mean, there weren't many negatives on the software, but obviously that's one of them, and a little bit of the sound sync issue. But
yeah,
again, it was pretty solid considering what it was.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it was cool just because I know a year ago, there wasn't really that kind of capability.
A year ago, people would have been glad to have that capability. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine a year ago having that capability at people would have been just dying for that because there wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, you were using Zoom and the quality is not the same. So you can gain some quality in different things. I mean, I have meetings in StreamYard, right? So I go and pull in people into StreamYard, and I'll have a 2-hour meeting with you or Robert or someone, and we talk and never go live and just use this as a platform for our personal meeting.
I can just tell you, yeah, it's way better than Zoom on many levels to me. I just can't stand Zoom. I don't really like it. It does the job, and don't get me wrong, but I don't like dealing with it.
Yeah. So well, when your power goes out, your power's been going out a lot lately.
That moment when your power goes out and you only had 7% left on your cell phone.
I hate that.
I mean, you just have like rolling blackouts, or are you actually have like weather issues? What's going on up there?
Yeah, maybe they're getting some storms. I know we did have some serious storms this last week in general too.
The weather's that's been a little bit uncomfortable lately.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. It's been super. These thunderstorms have been raging through our area a couple times.
But last night, John, there were people who thought we were on Ecamm or they thought we were on vMix. So, which is great because we were not trying to fool people, but what they were saying is, oh,
Yeah.
you're using that. So whatever video Ninja is doing, they're pretty close. They just got to work out some things.
Yeah, I agree totally. And once we do figure out those things, it could be a really useful tool for people to use. And if any of this information is helping you out, make sure you go out and check all of our YouTube setup and say hello, hit the subscribe button, okay, and do all that good stuff. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say anything. I never say anything.
About what? What are you talking
When
about?
things don't work, because that's a dead giveaway. Did you hear anything or no?
No, we didn't hear
Oh,
anything. I was reading something that Ash was following up on, and then you went into like some very calm panic mode. Oh, you were trying. It didn't work for you. I heard you talking, and I kind of saw you searching with your.
well, I
eye.
thought didn't the sound come through at least?
No, I didn't hear the sound, but
Okay, so then I just had it. I didn't have it laid on the right layer. So if you're getting any good use out of any of this, please hit the subscribe button and go check out Jeff's channel and do the same. We don't, we make absolutely no money on any of this, and we just work on things to strive to give out the information to help everybody. And we love it, and hitting our subscribes definitely makes us feel happy about things. So because we're growing and we want to grow, and hopefully someday under the rainbow we get monetized.
We're little roots.
That's it.
Trying to just get through the dirt.
That's all we want. So
yeah,
she's saying that the last was weather has affected the entire region.
Yeah, but she's also saying this time she has no idea.
Well, it's Canada.
Well,
I don't know what that means. I just say
don't know what that means. Are you saying that their grid is a little susceptible to things?
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay,
so.
we'll let that go. It's fine. I don't want to make our Canadian friends angry.
That's yeah, I picked that up off of Fiverr, that little thing. I actually used John Pullum's link, but I have actually looked at those things for a while. And
me too.
yeah, I was like, I need to get that. I just need to get it. Why not?
That kind of got me thinking. I was going to ask you again. I want.
Sorry.
He's really sorry.
Sorry.
He's not very smart.
I didn't mean it.
He's just ridiculous. Let me ask you something though, because I thought about it some more. Because you threw out a dollar value when we were talking about thumbnails the other day, and I asked, "Is there a dollar threshold where you'd be like, I'd pay X amount of money if somebody would just do my thumbnails every time, so I don't even have to like do it?" And I think you threw out $5.
Yeah, $5 would be cool.
And I thought, nah, probably that's. But then I thought, man, that's not bad. We're paying. So say you do 20 or 4 videos. It's only just $20 a month. We pay more than that for stupid things. Like
yeah, well, right. Like put it this way: if I go cut back and get Sling TV and get rid of my YouTube TV, there I made up the money. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like I really put more thought into it. I'm like, I said 3, but then I'm like, I think John's right. I think it's worth 5.
Yeah, $5 would be nice. But then see, the thing is, what are you doing for that 5? Are you going to have to go send them high res pictures of yourself? Are you going to have high res pictures of the products? So really, I don't know. What are you doing for that?
Well, I would think it depends on style. I think you would hammer out a particular branding of what you want to be used, maybe something even, or a variety of templates, ideas to start with. And then you would say, okay, yeah, you have to send photos. I mean, the guy's not going to have his own photos or girl. So this
guy's not going to have my own photos of me?
No, it's going to be some guy.
That'd be creepy.
Some guy in Iowa is going to be doing his own photos. So, yeah, so you send them out, but I'm just saying, let's just say you do that, once a month, but you're sending out assets to them to use and assemble together. I still say it's probably worth the $5 if you can find the meeting of the minds of the process and of the scope, the style.
I agree with you. I mean, especially if the thumbnails are cracking, right? So, Brian's asking, what is in the queue for 9 live videos? So I have like about probably 10 different things in my head. I just got to get around to putting it all together. I think what I might do is just do a quick video to get myself back in there about the browser Chrome extension that you can use to have YouTube chat pop up if you're in OBS. And so I might do a video on that just because I don't feel like I'm going to be able to get anything out with the stream that I did. I really just wanted to let the people that are close to me know. And that kind of like is how a lot of streams work. And so I might do that. What about you? What do you got in the pot, Jeff?
You know, I've got actually 30 ideas on my Notion video, but you know, I really do want to, I want to touch on this GoXLR because of some recent experiences. And then I want to touch on one on lighting because that's been something that I spent a lot of time on lately.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other one, because I'm going to kind of do my first ones. I may spread out a little bit on that first ones and just, I'm going to, you know, not be specific all the lights or all to GoXLR. I will run a playlist, but, and then I'm going to start doing some videos on demoing how I start to incrementally do things in Notion. I think I'm going to get into some productivity software and show people how they can do things to help their processes be more efficient in creative content and development.
Right. Which hopefully you'll catch up, you know, with me this weekend too. And at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know it's been tough with time. So Ash feels that $20 per month for 4 videos, not worth it.
I would say unless it's really, really cookie cutter, she's exactly right. I think people are actually doing them, sadly, for that price out of other countries, and we can all have a debate or whether that is.
If I saw a thumbnail that wowed me, and it was consistently like that,
yeah,
I would probably spend it or at least try it.
Okay, here's the thing. I did a thumbnail thing on Tuesday, and
this is what she's saying too.
Yeah, not worth it for the person making. Well, I mean,
that's not true. Totally.
That could, I mean, it's a personal thing. So let's just say you find somebody who's new to, they're in college, or they're going to intern for free and they want skills. You might find people who would do this for a portfolio.
My question is, Ash, have you ever been on Fiverr? Because because if you ever went about going through Fiverr, I think you would see different. Because
there are a lot of people who would do it for $5, and I guess there are also
lots of people.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I tend to agree with her. It's just but then reality is showing, or the evidence is showing, that there are people who are doing it. My otherly argument would be that there are people who would do this to learn and create a portfolio, not necessarily to make a ton of money. Maybe you could find that.
I agree with you 100%. But I think when we come down to it, $5 American money in other countries is more. It's worth a lot more.
Yeah, and then you start getting into the value of real American money.
That's why they're doing it.
I mean, I've worked with Fiverr on a lot of coding projects for WooCommerce and setting up e-commerce sites, and I dipped into Fiverr. And now I didn't pay the cheapest price, to be fair, when I got my coders, because I wasn't going to do that. But I looked at all their portfolios for guys who were giving prices that were insanely low, and their work was insanely good. And
insanely good.
Insanely good.
So you got to make sure, though, in their packages, because something can seem really cheap, but they're not giving you the vector file, or they're not giving you something, and you got to make sure that you get the whole thing. But yes, there are people on there, and I was on there over a year ago, and when I found it, and I was like, wow, because I was thinking logos or something.
Now I'm a person, I'll get on there, and I've done this, and I'm like, this is so cheap, I feel weird. And so you can tip.
Yes.
And I'm a person who's going to tip you. I'm going to probably tip you as much or more than what you asked to charge, because it's insanely low, and you were giving me something so good. If you give me everything you said and it's really good,
right,
I am going to load you up.
Because and that tip thing wasn't available last year. They put that in.
Right. And they should, because it's ridiculous. My only other caveat to the issue with the thumbnail on Fiverr and my research was that the problem is a lot of people are doing what you said. One, they're not giving things that you should get. You're only getting the image, not the full vector. And two, a lot of people just recycling AI formula thumbnails
Oh yeah.
instantly. And so you're getting things that everybody else is getting anyway, except maybe with your photo. So
There are people playing the system, and there are a lot of free things out there, and they're recycling things, and they're basically not doing a lot of work. And then there's people who are creative, and they're actually doing the work, and they cost a little bit more, but it is incredible what you can get for the money in a lot of situations.
yeah, I think
She says yes to Notion, by the way.
okay, great. Lala, you
Yeah.
and I are going to have, we're going to do some, we'll do some stuff on that. And, that's also another one of those outside of, I want to do stuff here, but like if I do some quick hit demos, like solo streams, like John does here and there, I might just show people how I did something while I'm working on a video and do it live, and then we can have a chat, because I think it's something that you have to spend a little time on if you don't have an idea.
Right.
I really enjoy Notion. I love productivity. I like helping people get their arms around not just the software, but with a power that is so simple, really, and what it can do. It has really opened up things for me for this content creation and managing my live streams and other parts of my life. And so I'm really excited about it. But yeah, the idea with this thumbnail, it's all over the map, because it just depends, really. It just
but the thing is, yes, people can, but I'm just saying for my personal thing, I think is a little tough. I'm not ultra creative, and for me, I could stand to use someone that can help me out. And like I said, my buddy looks like he's going to be able to do that. But here we go. My logo is a Fiverr special, and
Clint,
it looks great.
I used a Fiverr logo. There's some amazing, talented people on Fiverr logos, man. And if you just spend the time and do your research on there, you're going to someone's going to nail one. Someone did a signature one of mine, and I still use it on my music page. Great work. Look, that's just, there's nothing wrong with that. Just do your research. That's all.
So I wasn't specifically saying for thumbnails, but I'm more towards like logo issues is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Brian, if someone pays you $5 for a thumbnail, you should
Right.
a vector.
I'll give you a vector, pal.
I mean, I got
the 2-finger vector and the 3-finger though, so it's a little different.
See, that's a good point. Like, hey, if I'm just going to give you, not that, if I'm just going to give you, if you're going to pay me $5, you're just going to get the thumbnail at this size, and that's it. I kind of agree with that. If you expect to get a vector out of that, you're just an idiot. Come on.
But I'm just, my point is, and I think you've seen this, when you're on there, there are people putting packages together, and it looks cheap as you go into their, checking them out, and then you realize what you're not and what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. I spent quite a bit of money, actually, considered for Fiverr when I went for a logo for one of my tech comps, and I had to make sure, because you're right, a lot of them in the buffet choices, you got to be careful there and make sure you're getting what you want. A lot of them weren't handing out the vector at that price point, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. But a lot of that's negotiable. So,
yes.
I'd send off notes, and most of them are like, oh yeah, I got time and I might as well just do it. Let's do it.
Right. But I think it's a great service. I mean, especially through what's been going on this last year, where you're able to jump on there and people were able to make money and freelance, and then you get to use people's talents to benefit you in a lot of good ways. I mean, that worked out pretty well, probably for the company itself.
Worked out great. You could spend an obscene a lot of money and branding, and sometimes you got to do more if you're like, I'm a freelancer. If you're a company, you might have to do something for colors and really be a little bit more about what that brand is. But
yeah,
I made a live streaming checklist in Notion. I know that Brian's been poking at it. He seems like he's got the brain for it. I think he might have actually, I don't know if he didn't touch before on it or not. I know he's been interested. And yeah, I agree. You can make a checklist in Notion in like 2 seconds, right?
Yeah, you're going to show me how this week.
It's really great. And then the joy for me has been taking those tables and then building relations in there and just kind of transforming and blocking on. So everything is talking to each other in my life. I can drill down in data, which I love, but you want to do it in a way that is simple and not overwhelming. I mean, it's the whole point of the tool is make your life easier, not to where you're nuts trying to find stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's my main whole focus, is to be able to use it to bring my stress levels down and plan out my time effectively.
Good on you, Brian. That's great. I'd love to see it and talk to you about it. And then I made a gear list and added every single gear I have bought for this project with all the specs and the thumbnails. And I have a link for each entry that goes right to my invoice, right from the dashboard. And it's just, I'm really a fan of now using it. It's a joy to work. And there are I found some incredible, Brian, Chrome extensions for Notion, 3 of them that are,
Yeah.
2 of them really, third one, the Notion main one, don't use, but there are 2 other ones that will make Notion boosted like amazing. And you can save, you know how you have all these tabs open because you'll get to it. The way you can save into gathering bucket or to-do list, and it will save all these information and the icons and the URL in one click. In one click, it's dumped and saved in whatever bucket you want, and you can go back and find it, and you don't have to go, I wonder which YouTube thing was watching. I wonder, because I do playlists, but it's you have to dumpster dive to find that stuff sometimes because it gets so big.
I want to do that for my, it's so effective. It seems like, you know how many times I've needed to go in and pull up a link and you got everything dumped in there. See that you have to get organized like that, because you're going to use that for the next how many, years.
It's just incredible because they've combined like to-do lists, like Todoist and those with Kanban, like the ability to use Kanban boarding into databases that are relational. Because that's the thing with Trello. They're not related. I love Trello, but it's not related. Evernote, the information is hierarchy folders. And again, great, not relation. And the search engine in Notion is sickly fast, and you can have so many views of the same information, from galleries to tables to just easy, simple list. Or you want it filtered. I want to see all my calendar, but I don't want to see stuff that's up to today, or I want to see the next 7 days. And it's the same database. You're just seeing different views of it, kind of like your calendar, but it's just, oh, I can't say. You can tell I get excited about it.
Yeah.
And then I could see Brian down there already. He's like, Notion is on my YouTube Notion list. Yeah.
This is everyday tech. Yeah. This is Patrick.
I missed it. I'm sorry. I saw Brian down there. Yes, I have Notion, a whole playlist of Notion stuff. It's overwhelming how much stuff
well, it's getting out there. It's breaking through. People are knowing about it. People are raving about how it's helping easily make their lives more manageable, and effective. And it's where, we're getting bigger business people, creators using it. And, we want to follow what people are doing that are successful. And so,
well, I mean, look, in all seriousness, lights and cameras and mics and apps and, background paper and B-roll stuff. I mean, we can go on and on about the amount of stuff you have to get, learn, you have to buy, you have to inventory, you need it for it goes on and on, right? But at the end of the day, for me at least, and I know a lot of the people, by the way, we got to now use all that and create content. And where I get stuck is I'm just overwhelmed. Like, where do I start? And we all have the moments in our day, usually a moment where we're actually going to go, I'm calm enough to sit here and look through my stuff, either add to my live stream or my video editing idea database. And then maybe I start to go through and go, you know what, the next few weeks, these I want to put as a due date and start cultivating. But I can't, you know what I mean? Like, our days are so hectic. I can't just be running around and have I love bullet journaling, but I can't just open that up and think I'm going to be ready to go.
I mean, we're such an on-go society right now and we're so mobile. How can it not make sense to have something that's always at your desktop or at your fingertips in your phone?
My rules for Notion, liking it, were that any platform can use it, any phone, anything, any OS could use it. That was one. And that you could clip easily either from your phone, if you're in YouTube, Chrome, or anywhere, that you would be able to clip and share right to any database or any page in your Notion that you wanted to instantly, or on a PC. Because if there is absolutely no friction between clipping and putting it where I want it so I can get at it later in an organized way, my life is happy. Because I end up with 100 tabs open. I have playlists that are too deep, and I can search them. I can go into Notion and I can search everything that I've ever put in Notion by anything, and it'll pop anything up from pages.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just,
We're, yeah, I'm looking forward to the deep dive into that stuff because it's going to be another thing that's going to carry some of our streams and really gain some people and some insight, and then we can use it ourselves. And you're either going to come for the ride or not. But I mean, I think Jeff's got a lot to show us about learning this for our productivity. So I'm looking forward to it. So this is a first time. Mr. Duma Gaming stopped in ever, and he's checking us out. He's a subscriber, and I subscribe to him. And this is great because now we've had two people just stroll in here tonight that are new faces, and I absolutely love that, and I really thank you for stopping in and just saying hi. So this is what I want. It doesn't have to be, come in and stay the whole stream. If you just come on in and you can gain something out of the stream, that's fantastic. But I really appreciate just knowing who's stopping in and who's seeing us. So hello to you. Yeah. So hello to him too, right? And don't be afraid to check our channels out. Jeff's channel is in the description, and so is mine. And hit the like button if you can.
I'm showing me that's Mr. Doma Gaming.
Yes. Oh, did I say something wrong?
Well, I don't know. I can't pronounce anything, so I'm asking more than anything. And make sure that Mr. Doma, after the stream is done, please come back to the comment section and drop your link into the comments, man. Yeah,
drop a comment in the video after the stream, because then people can find each other, and then we can go and click on each other's YouTube channels and check each other out, because that's what's important, right? Everybody's dropping in on a stream. So the interest is there for people to check out the live streams. So if you want to check out other people's live streams, or if you're live streaming or your videos, drop something in the link and then we can all connect. Yeah. So thank you. And he's given us a compliment, says nice streaming.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. That's really awesome to hear. People don't realize that those compliments mean the world to us. It's really our payment for doing things. And I wanted to kind of, oh, Brian, I like the photos on the headers. I'm sorry. I went back and looked at something and I had to laugh because I'm the same way, Brian. On Notion, you can put photos on the headers and it just makes him look nice. We'll go through that, but we'll go back to him. We're in sync, Brian. I'm sorry. I got up.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you. Yeah, he's going to be there, he said. So I appreciate that. And also we stream every Thursday, 9 p.m. on my channel, Coffee Talk and Tech. And we stream on Jeffrey's channel, J.A. Smith, on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. And so Brian said, I like the photos on the headers.
Sorry, man.
So that's a quick way, I guess, right, to see what you're dumping stuff into. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I mean, it's just nice. There are certain pages I don't really care about. It's really kind of hard to explain, but it gives a nice visual. And I think when you're doing a lot of work with data, it's nice to have a little aesthetic. It's very clean. Notion is a very minimalistic in its presentation, but that's why I like it. So you don't get caught up in too much of that. It's about data.
Right. Don't go too crazy, because we gotta stream about this stuff.
Oh no.
I guess you might you can go on for hours, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can go on for days.
Days straight. So we're gonna do a 24-hour stream. I wanted to.
Yeah, I got a Notion to do 24 hours.
Oh God. Well, we're going to have a good time. So is there anything out there that anybody wants to say, or is anyone lurking again? Anybody out there that is lurking that hasn't said hi, that I would be really ultra thankful for, is if you came in and said hi. I love that. And it's great to see people just dropping in and letting us know that you're watching Jeffrey and I. And, how do you think we're doing? How's it look? How's the stream going?
We can take it. It's okay.
That's it.
We are what we are, right?
That's it.
Is our sound imbalanced? Is John's light making you nauseous? Is his shirt boring? Who's got the boring shirt tonight, man? You were all over me on Tuesday. And look at, what happened to you?
I ordered 6 new shirts. They're on their way.
Oh God, it's probably true too.
No, that is true.
Man alive. Yeah. You got off last night and got all those accolades for that crazy shirt. And then you went, I got to go to crazyshirt.com. And then you bought 6 more shirts.
I bought them last week.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I was actually thinking, I was hoping that they were going to come today because I wanted to just put a shirt on for the stream.
And you didn't, so you put that on.
A new one. Oh yeah, this is, this is a little, just a dress shirt, a dark, polo. That's all. Sometimes I like to be, whatever, and other times, who knows?
You know what you like to be sometimes? You like to be Midwestern.
Cool.
No, you said we were boring when you got my shirt all boring on Tuesday. You're like, oh, it's a Midwest thing. That's what you said.
Yeah. Probably wearing cowboy boots. Probably also down below. We can't
We
even
don't
tell.
wear cowboy boots in Milwaukee. What are you
In Milwaukee, come on.
you smoking? We don't even have
The beer isn't even good.
Oh, now you're in trouble.
Brian just compliments us either way. I feel like I blush when Brian gives us compliments.
I mean, your shirt looks good. I'm just messing with you.
No, I know you are.
I'm glad the sound is good because
you have to be 50 to know what Goonies is anyway.
It's been a struggle. Yeah, you do. I love the Goonies I catch it once in a while, but it's always funny to watch the Goonies and see how absolutely horrid the effects are. But there's such a charm to the non-CGI stuff. I love that. It gets tiring seeing such like Transformer-like stuff. And it's not that I can't appreciate it. I do, but there's a warmth to watching something like the Goonies and kind of just seeing, and Star Wars even, and just seeing more of that. That's why I was so bummed about when they went in and just kind of CGI'd everything up in Star Wars. I'm like, I just sterilized it, right?
I watched the Goonies with my son this year and he thought it was great. He loved it.
Oh my God, my wife. She's
Hawaiian?
Asking, I think she
wants a Hawaiian night shirt.
I think she's asking if you are getting Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaiian. Well, what? I could just have my family just mail me one, and no matter what it is, it's Hawaiian.
If you come on here with like a Hawaiian shirt and a lei one night, I'll be like, that'd be awesome. That would be a lot of fun.
If I wear just a Hawaiian shirt,
in
a lei,
come on in.
Maybe. Yeah, but if you do it, I'll do it. Then we could just have Hawaiian night. Maybe we will have a Hawaiian night one night.
You say stuff like that with her on here, and tomorrow she'll be on Zulily ordering this crap up for me. We probably
Hawaiian shirts, Amy. Get the Hawaiian shirts.
She will. The joke of it is, I think we already have some of the Hawaiian gadgets for some costumes. So I probably
good. The truth comes out. You probably have Hawaiian shirts already. I don't have any because I'm not a weirdo.
You need to go back and rewatch a stream from 2 days ago when you say stuff like that. It's just ridiculous.
That was a great stream. We're getting another compliment here, I think, or something. Good. Both of you are doing great. I just checked out Jay Smith and subbed. Oh, awesome. That is great.
Yeah. I've only got live videos up because I started live a month ago. And I hope you stick around. I really appreciate the sub, and I will find you. So drop that comment. I can remember your name.
Yeah, he subbed too, though, bro.
Oh, yeah, you subbed. So I'll find you.
Yeah.
And then, I'll do that for sure. And I really appreciate that. And great.
Support each other. Go check each other out. Like I said, you put the comments in the video. That helps everybody find each other too. Yeah. And I really appreciate anybody stopping in and doing this and supporting all each other. This helps. And, it just goes to show, like, it's been a little bit, and he's been watching. So he came in here like about, 15, 20 minutes ago, and he's popping back in. So people are coming back to the stream and watching. They're just not like saying hi and then jetting off. So that's
all right,
nice.
Man. My wife,
it's just nice that,
my
that
wife
people
dropped
are coming.
the Hawaiian thing on there, and she can't even be bothered to put her photo on her thing. Isn't that funny? Like, she just puts a little AA. Like, you can tell when people don't use tech much because they're like, they got real like things to do, I guess. And then she just like
real things to do. What does that mean? Real things to do? You're insulting me, I think.
No, I'm on here.
I'm going to B&H tomorrow to make myself feel better.
Is that your whoopee place?
Yes.
Where you feel bad. You take your little blanket and you just hustle on down there with some money.
I need to go talk to somebody there. And someone's got to help me out here. I need to make a contact there where they'd let me just go and like review stuff.
I think you're made for it. There'd be nuts not to. You're right there. You're right. You can just drop the stuff off, pick it up.
Take my credit card. I'm going to tell them that. Like, I don't care if you have my credit card. And if like you'll never get ripped off. I'll bring the stuff back. I just want to review it. Give me a week with it.
I just laugh if some guy like takes your information. You're 10 grand in the hole one day.
That guy never brought anything back. Oh,
all you ended up with is a crappy $99 like condenser mic, and they got like $10,000 off your card or something.
Right. My card's bankrupt.
Yeah. The truth to be told is we are huge Halloween people. And like we really celebrate the hell out of Halloween. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
people love it. People love that.
I think she's going to get Hawaiian stuff for Halloween. Thank you, John. I really appreciate your numbing me now with that, but that's okay.
No, we used to have neighbors. They celebrated everything to the max, and it's kind of nice though, because like everyone likes it and everybody loves it, and it's hard to do. So
as an adult, it's really the only holiday left that I enjoy. Halloween is really for adults, and I love Christmas. But it's really for kids. As an adult, I don't know, man. What do I get? Socks? I mean, it's really not. It's not like a great time. Like Christmas is always a letdown in a way, and it's not people's fault. It's just that you get older and things, and it's like, okay, I don't know. It's whatever. New Year's.
Is Brian talking about B&H being close?
Oh, could you imagine Brian near a B&H?
Oh, that place is amazing.
He'd be like a crack addict over at B&H.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I must have spent 30 minutes. And this is how weird it is, right? This is how crazy I think sometimes I am, but it's really cool. I must have spent 30 minutes looking at grips.
But that's what I miss though a little bit about all this, as the tech stores are going away. We had a Best Buy here, a really nice one, and just closed. And
yeah, they're hurting. We have hurting.
Yeah, and I get it. Everybody's hurting in the box store stuff, right? And the brick and mortar stuff. But that's a bummer because it's so nice to go touch things and get a feel, play with the keyboard.
It is. I think they're out of touch a little bit sometimes, though.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like when I walk in, I mean, I don't think people have a clue how big the creator thing is right now, And when I walk into like a Best Buy, yeah, you can order some stuff online, but they really need to like push like it's only been like this year, maybe in the last 8 months, where you could have like a little Elgato section.
Yeah,
like there's just needs to be more.
You're speaking directly to Best Buy, right?
Yeah,
because they're not. Yeah, they didn't see it coming. I don't know what they were doing, but the stuff they kept in the stores was not good. They didn't. I don't know. I agree. It's like
very mainstream. It's like very mainstream, and like they focus on the gaming.
It's very about the now. To a point, I get it. It kind of reminds me, if you have a home like project that needs a lot of good stuff, you go to Home Depot, you get superficial stuff, superficial doorknobs, superficial screws. If you really need the real like good stuff, or the stuff that's kind of not say rare, you got to go to an actual hardware store or somebody who's got like rows and rows of bolts and screws. You know what I mean? Home Depot's not your guy. You know what I mean? No. We have a sink. They got one sink, kind of in the demo. It's just not a great.
What drives me crazy? And this is the perfect example of it, right? When you had that hardware store, you can go there and get the little intricate. Well, I can't even pronounce it. Oh, I'm so tired. But you can get like all the little stuff. Intricate. I can't even say it.
Intricate.
Yeah,
intricate.
Intricate.
I have those words too, where there was one.
I didn't know I had it until now.
There was one about a week ago. I think I tried to say it 4 times that night at the same. I couldn't do it. I just gave up and I went and moved on. There's just certain words. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, have you ever gone to like Home Depot or Lowe's and tried to get metric hardware? It's like I try to get metric hardware.
Yeah.
And it's like I have to go get, this length bolt over at Home Depot. Then I have to go over to there and get the nuts. And I'm like, this just drives me. And the honest opinion is, I could do a hell of a lot better than whoever's doing that job there. And it's like, who's doing this?
Don't get me started on the level of support at a Home Depot. And then what happens is we still have like the Ace Hardwares that are still owned by like 10 generations here.
Yeah.
And it's
awesome. Yes. And those are awesome.
Okay, so you go to Home Depot and they got some person, if you can find them in a department area, which is what, 2 aisles, right? They're responsible for, but they can't be bothered to be there for some reason.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, and then you ask them a question, and they're like, I don't know, I
I just work here,
I
man.
just
Leave me
work
alone.
here. You go online, you find it. And then you go to a hardware store, and there's a person there, and they would just, you could talk for days about why this particular washer is the one you want.
Yeah. And I used to love that. And we're losing that because we're letting it happen, unfortunately.
But that is kind of my point, though, with the tech stuff and not being able to touch it and talk to people who know about it. And Best Buy lost me years ago. Not that I like gaming, but the problem is if all you have is gamers to sell you a camera, you are not going to really have a great dialogue to convince me to buy something. Now you go, I would imagine though, if you go to B&H in New York, you're probably going to find somebody that's going to give you a pretty decent dialogue yet, or are you finding it difficult even there?
No. So first of all, I want to just say this. If Best Buy would pay me to pick the cameras that I would want in their store, the variety, right, of stuff, and they had a kiosk there that someone worked there, because they do for the freaking little phones. Okay. So if they had someone there working that camera section, they would get more business, because when people walk in and they look at a couple cameras, they're confused. They walk away. They're in the aisle on their phone looking up stuff, instead of having someone there knowledgeable that can give them the info to help them out. Dude, I could make that company a lot of money. So it's like they just need to have someone picking the right stuff out each year that people are in the trend of using, or they know what the varieties are, and having someone sell the stuff to them.
I think the problem, if you're just in that business, it's such a big model. I think reacting to trends is very slow. The inventory that you've got to have there, and to really pivot that inventory to meet a lot of that, it's really difficult. They have to really move that stuff because, they got nowhere to go. It's not a quick moving model, which is why online works so well, because their storefront's infinite. But, look, I get it. And people say, well, you can always send it back. And I'm like, you're right. That's pretty convenient these days to send it back, but I could have touched something, would have been nice. Talked to somebody, been nice. And there is a little bit of an ick factor about sending something in gas back and forth that's about this big. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're getting off subject.
Yeah, but no, this is important though, because maybe they'll listen to somebody. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the algorithm, maybe they'll find out. But here's the thing, Jeff, I'm telling you right now, the main reason, right, is inventory, like you just said. But the thing is, if you don't have someone there to show them what it is, then what's that doing? So have the product there in the store, and then from there, it's a one-day order thing. Have your warehouse ship it to the Best Buy that's there that you just bought it from, and one day you'll have that camera. They have to put a better system together to be able to compete with the Amazons and the B. Listen, B&H is a not a chain of stores. It is a business that was built, over I think about 30 years ago, and it's been around, and you're walking around in their warehouse as you're shopping at the same time. The conveyor belts are over your head. There are people lined up around the street delivering product as product is going out. They have a huge warehouse in South Jersey for the purpose that I just said. So if you order that, it's not there. It's getting shipped to someone else around the world.
Yeah, I mean, Best Buy, and I see this, Brian, too. Best Buy really just leaned into all the TVs, and really it was TVs, a couple gaming laptops, and then they like things like the Surface Pro. So, of course, Apple, they got big in the Apple line. They love the iPad. And then it was kind of like a couple
DLPs. Wow.
Yeah. So, they kind of went all there. You're right, though. Like, could you imagine a Best Buy that had, how they used to have for the TVs, they'd have the whole living room and the couch, and they ought to have a streamer setup, and they ought to have
oh my God, are you kidding?
The actual camera, so you could test out 10 different cameras with big TV and little TV, and see what it would look like if you were streaming with the Sony, the Canon, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that would be killer to be able to get in there and be interactive with that. We could totally make money.
Dude, that is, you just hit the head on the nail. I mean, for sure. So he wants to know what country we're in. And so we are in the USA. I am located about 30 miles out of New York City, and Jeff is in Milwaukee.
I would be about an hour and 20 minutes north of Chicago.
North of Chicago.
Yep.
Okay.
Right off of Lake Michigan. Yep.
So, yeah. So that's where we're located, and I work close to New York City, and I work also in New York City. So I'm always going in and out all the time, and I love it because another new face has trolled in, and I love this. So this here is Chocolate Twist Yoga.
Absolutely.
She says, "Don't forget." Best Buy was the place to get the latest CD.
It was.
But wait, but wasn't that like Sam Goody's?
Well, I mean, Sam Goody's was huge, but Best Buy used to have the mega racks for a while there. They were really into the CDs, and then they just, they got out with Napster. But yeah, I mean, Best Buy though really did. In fact, Best Buy got into bed with Napster, and they did a deal with Napster at one point saying, if you are an artist and you had the most downloads, they were going to end cap these guys. Whenever all the musicians were like, oh, let's do that, we're going to get rich, and they didn't do anything. They didn't make any money. It was just a total rip off. But it's so true. I mean, I'm so old that I love going in and looking at the album stuff. But for a while, you thumbing through CDs was still fun.
Yes,
you could still go through there and have fun with your peeps.
So Chocolate Twist Yoga, where are you located? And I believe we met on Doc Rock's live stream. Oh. And I love Doc Rock. And if you don't know who Doc Rock is, go check him out on YouTube. He's actually out of Hawaii. So there you go, Jeff. Maybe you can get him to send you a shirt.
I need a new Hawaiian shirt. So do me right.
Yeah. And she has a yoga channel, of course, that is really professionally done. And I was looking at the videos recently and I was like, wow, I feel like it's almost like a little production she's got going on. It's really cool. I love it.
I have an interest in this. My wife has a room now set up for yoga, and I may have to find this channel for her. I actually do yoga. And
she streams.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I actually would love, I wish I could just be already into yoga so I could, because I believe in stretching. I believe in the whole deal that yoga, and I used to do a lot of the weightlifting. Now I don't do that anymore because I'm older and my joints, and I don't want to really be,
You're getting too bulky anyway. You're too big.
I'm not too big at all. You're making fun of me. Tower Records.
I'm not making fun of you.
Tower Records in Boston. I remember going into Tower Records in Boston, and it was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Like Tower Records on Broadway down by NYU was the place that I used to hang when I was a kid. My dad used to take us to Beta and VHS in the basement, and you had to choose, and we put it in the big JVC with the giant colored buttons, and that was awesome, Vince. Thanks for bringing that up.
That's a great memory. I don't, how did they slip my mind? That's great.
So here's another one Samantha is saying also is that I use Fiverr too, and they do some great work. Right, Samantha. And that's it. You got to get your feelers out. You got to go check out stuff that can make it cost effective. And she's checking this stuff out, and I agree with you.
Make sure that Chocolate Twist Yoga puts a comment afterwards so we get the make sure you tell her that.
Yes. Yeah. So if she can put a comment in after we do the live stream, this way everybody can find everybody. But she's a good size channel. She's got over 1,000 subs. You'll be able to find her no problem.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. She's got a nice channel. And Vince is saying Danny's Flipside Records still kicking in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. So yes, right. That's the real cool thing is that we have these places. One used to be Bleecker Bob's on Bleecker Street in New York City. Bleecker Bob's had all the coolest records in the world. Yeah, I used to be able to go in there like before they closed. I can't remember when, but I'd go in there and I'd find my dad's record from like 1975 in there. It'd be like so cool.
Awesome. Hey, Vince, is the vibe still like just really cool in there with the vinyl and stuff? I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's like people who kind of do museums of it, but then there are people who still have the vibe like that record, that small record. I say small, but smaller tops. That are just
just think of the people that are going in there. So the vibe has got to be really cool, And I live close to there, so I think that's a town. That's a town where I went and saw the original Rocky in. and there was a,
Oh, is
I
that
was,
right?
yeah, I was in the balcony. The actual theater in there had a balcony at the time, so that was really cool. So Brian's saying Apple Music. Listen, I want to just say I think we're going really over on the stream. We gotta we might be heading out soon, but I just got wrapped in. I've had so many people just stop in, and it's been amazing. So Apple Music just upgraded their music fidelity. The lossless audio out of my DAC has been sweet. So I guess that the quality is improved by tenfold, is what he's saying.
That's good to hear, actually. I mean, I think they kind of need to do something. I'm sure they're doing fine, but they're fighting with Spotify and everybody else. So the quality is going to be the next thing you can do to kind of differentiate.
Right. Yeah, check out Chocolate Twist Yoga. We were talking in Doc Rock stream, and I had brought up that I saw Digital Underground in New York City back in the early 90s. And she had said that she's seen I think she went to the same tour with Queen Latifah and a couple. Yeah. And that's right up my alley. So she was like, who is this guy? And she probably checked me out, and she's like that music, and yep, that's me. I like that stuff. I grew up on that stuff, so yeah. I loved it all, man. Big Daddy Kane, all of it. It was good stuff for me. So
I just really missed some of this music. I know it sounds like old man stuff, but I love the new music, but I do miss some of the vibes. I'm just saying. I get a referral from a friend.
Yeah. So here's another thing, right? I got a referral from a friend to a graphic designer on Fiverr, reached out to him this morning, and the turnaround was 1 hour.
I've had really good luck on Fiverr, I have to say. I mean, again, I think a lot of people do their research, and I can only imagine someone as professional as Twist Yoga would. You do your due diligence, but I mean, you can get bit, but I have had really good luck on there.
Yeah. What I might do is I might reach out to her and ask her for what that referral is. Maybe we could be interested in checking them out too.
Yep.
Because if you know that other YouTubers and creative content users are using somebody, and why not pass it on if they're going to do good work for everybody? And so thanks for dropping that comment on that topic, because we were reaching out to that too. So here's Vinny. So if anyone doesn't know, this is my high school buddy, Vinny, and Vinny and this is a true story. In 1989, John Milli Vanilli at the Meadowlands. And I got to actually talk to Milli Vanilli really quick out in the parking lot at that time. And we had a fun time. And Vinny, I think, remembers more about this concert than I do. And I think it's just because it seems so long ago.
Now, when you were talking to Milli, did Milli use his own voice?
It's Rob and Fab, bro. Okay.
Yeah, one passed.
Yeah. Yep. I think it was Rob.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
they were really nice guys. That's the thing.
They got in a situation though, and it wasn't a good one.
No, but I mean, they were young. I mean, give them a break. I mean,
they were young. Yeah.
People do things when you're young, and
they won a Grammy that they had to return. Remember that?
It's actually kind of heartbreaking.
Oh my God, the whole story.
Yeah.
And then they tried to come back with their own songs, and it didn't really do too well.
That might have been more heartbreaking than they were.
And then what's funny is those German singers, they never came back with any songs.
No.
So look at this. Brian was listening to Tupac. I can't believe it.
Actually, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it just surprises me. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I like Tupac too.
You can't judge people by their faces.
By their beards?
By their beards.
What are you hiding behind? He probably has a Tupac tattoo on his chin. That's why.
Yeah, right. Got a little prison tattoo. What are you hiding back there, Brian?
Yeah. So Chocolate Twist Yoga, the tip I gave him was more than the cost of the project. Oh, okay. So I guess she's been listening, but what he did, I could have done myself, but it just wasn't worth my. Yes. So you're allocating your time, right? Based off, and this is what we were talking about earlier. And for me, if I could load somebody up with certain things for my thumbnails and send them out, and they're going to get a better click-through rate by them doing it versus me, and I could pay $5, I might do that.
Yeah, but see, this is part of what we've been talking actually for a couple of weeks as we were talking about things like Notion and productivity. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the first things if you want to get things done, that's one of the first things you got to do is decide where you can delegate.
Yeah.
And what she's saying is a very astute business move here to say, hey, I could do this. This is not a
Yes.
question of me not being able to do it, but I'm smart enough to realize I got other things I probably should be doing that are going to really get me where I want to be. And this is not a fight I want. I think,
Right.
I think that's a great lesson for people to learn. It's okay to delegate things you could do as well or better even.
Well, I think here's the thing, when you go to people's channel, and I checked out her channel, I believe yesterday or the day before, and I was just impressed by everything. Like I actually, when I saw her transition in and out, I was almost like, do you have a producer? Are you doing something remote? That I can't see. I even wanted to ask her, like, what mic are you using? Because it's got to be a shotgun. I can't see it anywhere. And she sounds great. So whoever she's using, whatever she's doing, wherever she's getting her tips from about stuff, they're doing a hell of a job, because I see it.
Sounds like great production quality. I mean, the thumbnail is a rocking one too, by the way. I mean, it just reeks of production quality.
Yeah. You know, and so these are the people that we want to learn from, and that go out there.
I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah. So that's what I always think about too. When I see people's things and I'm like, wow, their audio is so good. Are they using like, a 416 shotgun mic off? It's $1,000 mic, but it's really effective.
I'm considering getting one, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong, with it. It's super outstanding. I think the only thing is for cost effectiveness, I'd probably go with an NTG 4 Plus.
I'd back it up. I don't know if I'm going to spend $1,000, but I would like to get a decent shotgun mic and use that at times. I'll actually want some things out of shot. So yeah.
So what is she saying here? She's Chocolate Twisty Yoga is saying at Brian Paul, he was actually hanging out with the Trench and Naughty but NHR doing roadie work and rapping on stage. That's awesome. So we're all probably close in age, because this is great stuff that we're talking about, and it's a great rap era for sure.
It's fun stories.
I love it. See, this is how we get here, and this is what's so fun. We start out talking about like the streaming platforms and how we want to level up to, using vMix and why we want to. I want to control the audio more. I want to have the best look, and we're going to get there with our streams, but we're not saying not to use other things to get you where you want to get, and no one has to be in the same category all the time, right? So if this works for you, you stick with that. If this works for you, but we are tech people, and Jeff and I are here to help people stream and get better at YouTube if you're new, and us knowing that these products are going to help you. So that's the idea here.
Yeah, it'll help us, and reading this conversation has been fun with Brian and Chocolate Twist Yoga, because it kind of harkens back to how we started the show talking about we all have lived lives. Our lives didn't just start. Our skills didn't just start when we decided to pull our first video or our first live.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of talent and history and knowledge and experience that was already here, and so it's always fun. Now, I'd love an after party discussion about some of the fun back in the day, because I can imagine it was a good time. But
so this is what she says, and this is what's cool. She says, "All shucks, you flattered." And when honest, I'm being honest, because this is me. I look at this stuff, and I was saying, I kind of knew. I was like, I feel there's a Rode Wireless Go somewhere, but I couldn't see it. So I couldn't see it. So she's saying this, but I was looking for it, and it wasn't like super visible to me. So I didn't know if you had to tuck somewhere or put somewhere that I couldn't see inside maybe of your top or something where it wasn't showing, because I was looking for it, because she sounded really good, and it sounded like a Rode Wireless Go.
And I'll tell you, for John to say you sounded good, you must sound good, because he wouldn't say it. So this is really interesting. Again, what great information, even for me, as I think about, well, what am I going to do with, wow, that's really cool.
And this is the same information. I had someone come to me about a karate studio, and they were saying they wanted to have a mic set up, and they were talking about putting shotgun mics around the studio. I'm like, listen, honestly, and because the guy didn't want to have a mic on him, but listen, you got to find a way. If you have to use an ace bandage around your chest, okay, and throw the Rode Wireless Go right inside up here so it holds tight, right, while you're showing karate moves or whatever. But you're going to get really good sound that way, and it's going to be really good quality. So, because otherwise, cost wise, think about how hard it would to be picking up audio as you're walking around, doing a karate studio.
I mean, even yoga poses, though, you're facing in so many different ways. It would be so hard. So, I mean, that's probably why you were confused, right? Because you would hear that even with a good shotgun mic turning in and around. So,
yeah, I saw her doing her moves, and I was like, and then she would do a stretch that I could never do, and I was like, she still sounds so good, not muffled. She must have a wireless mic somewhere, and so she's doing good.
And she didn't sound like she was in mortal pain that you and
right. And Brian just got the Rode Wireless Goes, and I actually have them also. And so I know how great they are, and it's amazing what they do. Even if you get cut out, your audio is being recorded. And for a content creator, that, if you don't know your audio is getting cut out, you have to go back, and then it's painful. Now you're looking at your video and you're like, oh my God, my audio cut out. And so know that even if the connection isn't made with the Rode Wireless Go, it's still being used as a recorder, and recording is worth it in that alone.
It is. And I'm anxious to actually check out the quality of sound that she's got, because I mean, you and I both know, no matter how good that visual production is, if we are hearing this weird voice in and out and it's so distracting, like it would take away from, it would just be a distraction, right? So sound is such a big deal. So I'm glad that she figured it out so well. That's very cool.
And she says, I'm working with the first edition, which was great also, and Rode, and to get the 2. I don't know if you need to get the 2 as long as you're within the realm, but the recording factor can be worth it alone as a backup. The Comica Boom failed, so I'm working with no backup at all. And that's good to know, because I almost bought that. I almost bought those. And then I was looking at the Hollyland. Actually, the Hollyland wireless setup is really nice looking also. And those are close in price, but they come with a case that charges actually. And then it can do multiple charges like you would with a set of headphones or something, and it's really professionally done with tactile dials that you can dial in for your channels, and also that go right on top of the camera, where the Rode is a small little unit. People complain about the Rode doesn't have the adjustability, but it does, because if you set it up properly with the software and the app, then you can take it out and there's not anything that you would have to change, because I just don't think people took the time to learn it fast enough. And so they're out there running and gunning, but it's a great setup.
Yeah. It's too often people do that. They just want to get going with it, and you to give up on it, or they don't really put the time into it. That's a shame. You don't know.
All right. Are we don't want to go for a 3-hour. I think we got to stop here, bro.
I think we should get you to bed.
It's unbelievable, because it looks like we have 12 people watching still. And I don't know who you are, but I love that you guys stopped in. And I appreciate anyone that came in here to 3 or 4 new people came in tonight on this stream. It makes my heart like explode tonight. So I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I guess that we should play a little outro music, and maybe call it a night. I really had a good time with everybody, though. We had a blast.
It was fun tonight. Fun meeting new people. Yeah, I'm gonna check out and get some subs on right afterwards, so I don't forget. And,
So we'll see you on Tuesday at your channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's J.A. Smith. Go check him out if you haven't. And I'm Coffee Talking Tech. I'm John Ryan, people. If you don't know who I am, John Ryan. How you doing? And I'm going to bail out for the rest of the night. We're doing these ultra marathon nights. That's Jeff, by the way. Yo. And why can't I just have me sometimes? I don't know why.
You got to move yourself to the other side first. You got to be on the left side. Yeah.
Jeff, show me the way. You're such a
doing it. I'm hand holding you, bro.
Guys, thanks so much. And Mr. Duma Gaming, yeah, thank you for stopping in. I really love that you checked me out and everything. Thanks for watching the video. And we're going to check out your gaming channel too. And thank you, Chocolate Twist Yoga, for coming in, and everybody else who's been out there. And if you're lurking, come and watch next time and put a comment in. Say hello. Ask a question. I love to talk to new people. So I'll catch you guys on next week on Coffee Talk and Tech. Love you. Have a great one. Good night.